Hi, hello and welcome everyone. And this is our episode 4, I believe, which is our black hair. So I think I'm just going to adjust my settings. So bear with me if you're watching this on playback. This is a live show. So I have to wait until I press live until I can do all of this. And then we'll get straight into it. So hello to everyone that's joining me. And hopefully I'll be able to see you all in a second. Hiya, Robin. So bear with me. Hiya, Victoria. Newlywed. Oh, Victoria here. Hi, Lou. Hi, Becca, Morticia. 1 second, guys. Sharon. Hi, Janet. Hi, Stephanie. So, yeah, our Victoria here got married last weekend. So she's now a newlywed. She's now a wifey. So congratulations. The conclusion is, Elizabeth, you love Yorkshire tea. Hi, Mum. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Vicky. Design Impex. Hey, everyone. All right, can you just bear with me for 2 seconds? Hi, everyone. Hi, Desiree. Hi, all. 1 second. I'm just adjusting lightings and everything that I have to do so that everything is fine. 1 second, because there's a lot of blue tint in this. I've got to turn autofocus off as well. Okay, now I can talk to you all. Yes, congratulations, Victoria. She married her her sparkling new husband. So you can see what today is about. Today is tea, colouring. We've got our serious, I think they're called gonks. Are they gonks? They're gonks. Woohoo! You can get it on. That's always a good thing. You've got a supply. You've got hiya, Randy. So if you're watching this back, I spend the first few minutes saying hello to everyone that's joining the live chat. Hiya, Chesh. Hi, everyone. How are you all anyway? Before I crack on, Miss Darlene, thank you so much for your samplers. I did say last night, I hope that you saw that I said it. My brain is really, ugh. Yeah, I'm okay. That's okay, Katrina. You go do what you have to do. Hi, Starbucks. Hi, a huge welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me on Thursday. We're on Thursday today. Don't forget, tomorrow, the giveaway entry is closed for the Artesia 48. So if you've not already done that, go on to the last stream and put in the comments that you want to be entered if you want to be. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Joey. Hi, Louise. I feel like I need to sing like hiya to everyone. A huge hello. So have you all got your hot drinks? I've got my Yorkshire tea. And it's in a Christmas mug, but I can't show you that because otherwise I'll spill the tea. So today we're using this particular image. I have messed around. This isn't the final result as such. This is me testing. And I'll show you the true colour. That's okay, Kimberly. It was just like an informal chat. So I didn't keep it up because, yeah, you know, it's not really about the channel, is it, that one? Oh, goodness. I'm sorry that you experienced. Are you all okay? That's like quite a big on the Richter scale, that earthquake. Oh, in a BB-8 mug. Oh, stay in bed. Hi, Susie B. Hi, Mike. Hi, everyone. So we're going to be using this image out of the Mariola Budek. This is the series of hair that she's got over on her Etsy. I have put the link in the description to everything that we are using today. So I've put the link to Mariola Budek. I've put the link to the Luminance pencils. Hiya, Sue. And I have put a link to, because I'm only going to possibly use 2, or one or, you know, either or. So I'm either going to be additionally adding in, I'll get my words right in a minute. Hi, Lisette again. Some of you I saw last night, so hi again. So I'm either going to be using a Polychromos, which is by Faber-Castell. You probably all know about this. Or a Prismacolor, our good old favoured Prismacolor Black 935. However, the reason why, hi Nick and Tina, the reason why I might not use the Prismacolor and I might use the Polychromo for fine detail with a very sharp tip. Oh, that's okay. I mean, it was just an informal thing. I was in pajama bottoms and we were just talking. So, you know how it goes. The reason why I might use this is because this is oil and less wax-based. When you're going over the top with a wax-based pencil, this can become very cluttered. Now, as I said, this isn't the final result. I'm sort of playing around with a few colours here. So if I turn this, you'll see more of what I was kind of aiming for. So there's some blue tinges in there, and I kind of was trying to go with the direction of the hair. Now, this isn't going to be how I want the final result. Oh, hi, Anna. Everyone's getting a cup of tea. But I wanted to just get the aspect of putting the blues and the greys in there. Oh, is it like a little wedding gift? That's so sweet. Enjoy it. So the reason I always do this first and I write down all my notes is because, honestly, I plan stuff. And the reason I do that is so that when I come on, I'm not completely head in the clouds, don't know what I'm doing. However, my usual combination for black wasn't quite working out for me. So I thought, no, I'm going to go back to the drawing board. So then I additionally added in 2 colours that I wouldn't have before. So I added in onto the greys. So you're going to go for greys, black, and a dark blue, like bordering an indigo blue. Hiya, Jerry. Hiya, Jane. Yeah, a big blanket. Hello, Joshua. But then I needed a light blue. And that is to go into the highlights, and it accentuates the highlights a bit more. So it doesn't look so solid black. Now, the camera might not pick it all up, but it is there. I'm just trying to get the camera settings right so you can see all the blues in there without it being lost. And when you're doing this, you will see it a little bit more than probably what you can see on my screen. So I added in 162. Do not ask me to pronounce this word. It is this one. I'm just going to call it Thay Blue. There is no way I am pronouncing that entire word. So Thay Blue will be what it is. And then I also added in the Crimson Aubergine, a tad of. And they're 2 colours that I've kind of introduced into it so that when it's there and you're going into the highlighted areas, so we'll use our blank one as reference here. So the highlighted areas are, as you can see, she's grayscaled it for us. You don't have to worry about that. So you're going to go in with your light, you know, your dark and light greys, and then you're going to put into the highlights where your blues are going to go. And then we're also going to, okay, Anna, you can probably grab a couple. If there's any, I'm going to do, I think I will speak to you after, Anna. So I'm going to then put the blues and add the blues more pronounced into the highlighted areas. So all these parts here. So I'm just talking you through what I was kind of, you know, doing. This is a test run, not an exact. The wax is quite heavy on Luminance. So as you can see, there's a shine to it. And it's because there's a build up. And then when you add Prismacolor, that's where I was like, no, it's not happening. So this is where a Polychromo will come in with fine detail. Hi, Faye, good to see you. So that is what we're going to be doing. I need to grab a pair of scissors and I'm going to give our Lou a bit of an anxiety attack because I never sort of get these how they should be in terms of size. But, you know, that's how it goes. So I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and we're going to do that. So hold on. Hi, Phoenix. How are you? How are you all today? It's good to have you. Good to see you all. Okay, so we're going to be doing that. I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm boxed in here, guys. I boxed myself in with lights. Lights and leads. Hi, May. Okay, I got my scissors. I should have kept them in my cart, really. Hi, Karen K. I always call you Karen K. I think we've got another Karen, but I don't think she's here. You got the 96 Artesian watercolor brush pens. Woo! Cool. How have you tried them out? Have you swatched them out? Are you liking them? Hi, Sarah. So happy Thursday. Almost at the weekend. Any plans for the weekend, anyone? What are you all up to? Got any plans? And we've got cozy colouring night with lovely Jen, Reading with Pogs Jen. Hi Tracy, on Saturday, 4 o'clock my time. I kick it off and then we go over to Jen's an hour after. Oh gosh, no, Phoenix, I know those nights too well. I hate them. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly cut these up. I'm going to try and be a little bit neat. And then we're going to roll on into it. This one takes me a bit longer because of the shadowing and putting the black in. I always find black hair is the hardest. Is anyone with me? The hardest to do, personally for me. Other people might be, you know, completely fine with it. As I always say, this is not a tutorial. This is a more of a how I colour. I'm not an expert. I'm not in art. I just show you how I colour things. So this is not a tutorial, but hopefully this will help someone who might be a complete beginner. Because I know myself, black hair was a complete no-go until of recent times. So I'm just cutting these up, guys, and then we're going to get on with it. Lou, I'm making an absolute pig's ear of this. A pig's ear. Okay, nearly there. Look, they're all different sizes. I do apologise. It is. I know. I'm the same. Oh, yeah, you can colour along. I'm so happy when I see them all. And we've got a couple of people who send the pictures and post them straight after each video. And I'm like, oh, my goodness, you do such an amazing job. It looks amazing. People's colouring skills are crazy. Hi, Dash. You're here. Jane, you have to purchase them. They're from Mariola Budek's Etsy store. So, yeah, they're ones that you have to purchase via Etsy. And then if you want to colour along, you can colour along. Okay, let's take this all off. I had this because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this one, but I didn't. Oh, I know, Victoria. It's never ending. Let's face it. Okay, you're all at an angle. Okay, okie dokie. So let's rock and roll. We might as well. So I've got all my little. That's okay, Jane. If you go, if Lou's just put it in the description. Not in the description. I've put it in the description. Lou's just put it in the live chat. So there is a place to go to if you want to purchase and do the same. Okay, let's roll on with it. So I've chose this one, which is funnily enough the first image in the pack. I won't probably do it as strong as that, but we're going to just go with it. So I think I started with a darker grey, I believe, because I mixed things up a little bit. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to test two theories. One was with brown highlights, one was with blue. And based on what I've seen and what I've looked at and all the sort of drawings I've looked at, you know, you sort of trawl through the internet. That's okay, Tash. Oh, you meant, yeah, I've not been on YouTube today. I've not been on YouTube. Okay, so my darker grey that I personally chose was the French grey 808. I'm just going to stop knocking this. Hold on, everyone. I'm just going to put the lead aside so that I don't knock you. So just bear with me a minute. I'm just trying to get the lead so I don't knock. There we go. Right. So now I'll go back in. as I said, I wouldn't class myself as a tutorial channel. I class myself as a how I colour channel. And that's not being modest or anything or saying, oh, you know, it's just genuinely that's how I see it. I wouldn't say I'm a tutorial channel because I'm not an expert in art. So we'll go with this. Ah, brilliant. Okay. So the two greys, I'm not going to be in chat for a second. The two greys that I opted for was a darker grey here and a lighter grey. So you vary your greys in two. This is kind of what I've figured. So my first grey, which I'll be starting with, will be the 808 French grey. And the reason I chose that instead of the colder greys, the bluey greys, is because I quite like the tone that it put into the black. Then when we're going to go in next, we're going to go in with the Lumi. These are both Luminance. So I've put Lumi at the top. And this is 902 Sepia 10%. And you can see the difference in the greys straight away. There's like a very lightish grey to a dark grey. I'm going to make sure you're not flashed out. Okay, there we go. So we're going to start off with this one. I'm going to try and put it in the corner so you can see each time. Hopefully. Do let me know. I'll zoom you in. And then we'll get started. Sip of tea as well. Okay. That should be zoomed in enough so you can see enough of the image. Okie dokie. Right. Trick as well with this, as you always know with hair, and I've said it quite a few times, you need super sharp tips. And the reason why I say super sharp is so that, hi, is it D? I can't see. Yeah, D. The reason why I say that is because if you go blunt, you're not going to get the fine details of hair. The good thing is that if you have a sharp point, you can get the really fine details in, and then that's a good starting point. So I think I'm going to go for this strip here to start, not from the top, because the top has got more of a highlighted area. So with the past hair tutorial, well, no, not tutorials, past hair episodes that we've done. Hi, KP. The hair grayscale that we've already got, we've grayscaled it out with the colour. So you're using that as your tool, your aid, your support and guide. So you kind of come in with this French grey 808. This is Caran D'ache Luminance, and you're going to use your grayscale, your current grayscale, as your aid. It's your aid. So you start bringing in those strokes into the dark areas to begin with. Now, there's a fine hair that comes sort of swifts out. So you get those, and you can go slowly with this. I wouldn't advise going fast because you can vary the pressure of your pencil as well. So at the moment, I'm going light. I'm not going to heavy pressure. I'm kind of bringing in some of that grayscale, and it starts to take away some of the grayscale that's there with using the grey that we've got. So it changes the colour straight away. But you're not changing the detail. You're keeping the detail, but you're changing the colour. So I'm just going to vary the pressure. And on these parts, I'm bringing that down. I'm releasing it off. I'm going sort of light to medium to light kind of thing. You're kind of graduating that pressure down. And you're using your grayscale to do that with. So you can start to see you're already bringing in another one. Ah, you're welcome, Victoria. It's my pleasure. It really is my pleasure. I love doing it. I love spending time with everyone as well. I can't speak to a camera on my own. I find it very hard. I much prefer to sit. If I'm going to sit here doing something on a camera, I'm going to switch a live stream on. It's just, that's just how it goes with me. It's just how it goes. It's so much easier to sit and chat with you all. Okay, so you're bringing that pressure and you're flicking the pencil off the page as you come down with varying your pressure. You can kind of just keep with that before we come from the bottom up, sort of up. So you're not putting too much in, but you're putting enough to take out the grayscale. So I'm going to continue taking the process up here. Now, there's a bit more of a highlight, so we're going to put a bit of blues in that after. So when you're putting your French grey, only have it very lightly applied into the highlighted areas. And then you can vary your pressure to a little bit more harder, but it's still medium because you're doing light to a medium now. And allowing, you have to go with the strokes of the hair. So whichever the direction of the hair, to make it look more realistic, you have to go with the direction of the hair. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm following that direction and bringing that up. So what you been up to today, guys? I've been on a lazy day today, I must admit. Very lazy day. But I've watched The Greatest Showman again, and I've taken Chip out. I kind of got myself half presentable today, and just done a few bits indoors, but nothing major. I'm trying not to aggravate pain, so it's just easy enough. So as you see, this bit is a bit more highlighted. So with those areas, I'm going to really have the pencil lightly applied, not hard. So remember, just keep it light. This is only layer one. There's quite a few variants of layers in this, as you probably have guessed. And the reason for that is it builds up the look of realistic hair. You can't go in full blown at the beginning because otherwise it's just going to block it. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so keep with that. Again, bring your strokes up and go, let your hand loose. So if your hand's loose and you can see the direction of the hair, then go with it. Just allow those strokes to come up and meet some of the others very lightly. That's okay. You lurk away. So again, I'm sort of bringing that up. And I'm going to bring some long strokes down now and meet some of those up. So you can see layer. I'm going to do one little section first. So we'll go with that to begin with. And I'm going to write this time, oops, the pens that we use in order. So I'm varying a little bit harder now, just a tiny bit harder. You can hear it on the page, and flicking that up. Okay, so for now, I'm quite happy with the dark grey. We don't need any more of the dark grey. Then I'm going to come to my light grey, and the light grey you're going to vary in. So the light grey in our case is Sepia 902, which is 10%. Hi, Nanamo. Oh, yes, you're welcome. I'm enjoying doing these, to be honest, a lot. Okay, so now where I'm going to bring this lighter grey in, I'm going to bring some of it down because I didn't want to do the dark grey into the highlighted areas a little bit. So you want to keep some so you can see them, but it will help keep some of that highlight without losing the look of black hair, because sometimes it will just look like you've got white spaces. You don't want that. So it can dull down and tone down that dark look, but you've also got a few bits in there. So you keep with the direction. Don't lose your directional part. And it is just a hint of it. Okay, Faye, that's fine. What's your other ID? Who else has? I only have one. So I've never quite got the, you know, when people have more than one phone, I'm like, why have you got more than one phone? Okay, so you're barely touching that. You only wanted a little bit in for now. You're going to come back to that after. Now I'm going to put a lighter blue. Now, the blue, oh, can you hear her? Hi, Rona. Yeah, she's singing away on her swing. She's a happy girl, a very happy girl. I'm going to bring in the light blue to start with before we deepen it up with the darker blue. So it's Luminance 162. Faye's colour in. I like it, Faye. So we're going to get our lighter blue. And I'm going to call it Faye Blue. There is no way I'm pronouncing that. But the number's 162. Now, what I have been doing, and again, this is just me, is bringing the blue into the highlights. Now, I fiddled with this so much, and it was driving me nuts last night. After I streamed, I came off, and I had a little fiddle, and then I come back to it this morning. And I'm trying to get the tint to come through. Now, this is just your first layer anyway. This is setting where you want your highlights to be. Now, in black hair, you're not going to have highlights in white. You're just not. If you look at someone with black hair, they've not got white highlights or white gaps. So it's like, how am I going to highlight? It's the greys and the blues. Or you can have a brown tinge. I think Morticia told me that yesterday about the brown. I already had the blues in there, but I fiddled around and I put a different blue because I only have Prussian blue, so I've done this one. Now, this is very optional. You can either have a blue tinge by what I've seen by photos, or you can have a brown tinge, which is the crimson aubergine I think I picked. So I've gone for more of the blue than the brown. So I thought if I go more for that, we'll try that. So we've gone for that option. So you're putting that more into your highlighted areas. As you can see, it's starting to bring a bit of a highlight. Yeah, there is purple as well. There's quite a few. It's either purpley, blue, or with the crimson aubergine, it's like a reddy brown. There's a few, and I've looked at photos, and you're kind of trying to capture it, which is not easy with hair. So I'm just very lightly applying this to start with, because this is just, as you can see, it's just your sort of guide, because you got your greys in there. Then before I, go in with another layer or anything, this is just setting it all out. Then I need my Prussian blue. Yeah, there's a lot of blue tints. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking. Yeah, there's quite a few. Okay, so I'm going to get the Prussian blue, which is 159. This is all luminance. And now I'm going to start to deepen at the top a few of these strokes. Not all. I'm going to be quite selective before I put any black in and start building that up. It's a case of building, I think. It changes completely when you start putting the blues in. Now, it's a layering process. When you start to then introduce some white in, it dulls down. You might lose some detail, but that's where your black, sharp black will come in handy again. So it's a case of fiddling around and getting the right amount of highlights and shadows into your hair. Now, this is dry, and as I said, this has been a practice session for me, to say the least, because I had in another colouring book, I had a combination already set out for me, and it wasn't quite working this time around, and it was missing something. And I thought, what is it missing? Now I know, it was the lighter blue. So now I've come back to do the lighter blue. I like black hair, I just wouldn't get away with it. Yeah, I like mahogany as well. It's nice colours. There's some beautiful colours to do in hair. From the, crazy colours to the more natural colours. There's so many. So we've kind of set out. I'm going to add a little bit more, but we're kind of starting to set out. Now make sure your pencils are so sharp is so important on this, because otherwise you're going to lose that fine detail. So I'm going to just vary a little bit of that to be a little bit of a harder pressure, not much. You've still got your greys in there, and you're going to come back to your greys anyway. It's kind of just set it for you. So you can kind of see now, before we start adding in, you've got the greys, you've got the blues, now add the black. So when you start adding the black, you can then come back and layer in others when needed. So I'm going to get my black, and now you've got to, obviously you've got to put a fair amount in it, but you've already got those points coming through of highlights. So you want to try and keep those. So we'll start to process it to begin with. This is going to be one light layer to start. So go from your point at the top and fan them down. You're starting to build it up. You were going to get to grey. Grey is in ours. I'm looking forward to doing that one as well. I love doing hair, but the black is what stumps me sometimes. So it is a case of having to work it out. So I'm concentrating just as much as you guys at the moment. So at the minute, I am bringing in a medium amount, not a heavy amount of pressure. And as you can see, there's some where I just plan in at the moment. I do as well, May. Like even silvery greys. So here and here is a highlighted area. So you're going to keep your blues sort of pronounced through those parts, but you are obviously going to introduce some black in there. So with those areas, try to just mine them out the way at the moment. Don't go in there. And bring that black up, but swish and flick it out. So you're swishing your pencil up and flicking your pencil out so it releases the pressure. It's a good little sort of technique that I found works for me. I think Andrew's just trying to call me, guys. Do you mind if I just quickly answer and tell him I'm on stream? Bear with me, everyone. Hello. Hello, sorry, I'm streaming. No. Are you going back to work or are you coming home? All right, well, just message me and I'll see you a bit later. All right, love you, bye. All right, sorry about that, everyone. I just see it because sometimes he comes home a bit earlier. Sorry. So yeah, as I was saying, swish and flick. I always use it. It comes in handy with techniques for colouring, to be fair. All right, so as I said, you're bringing that pressure down, but you're also going to add in the black strokes. You're going to start to build it up, but you've got other colours going on at the moment. So you're building up a layer of technique. And you're not going in like full blown. You're going to eventually, it's not going to be like this, but you can see the difference in the pressures. I mean, this is a bit darker than what I wanted, but this was more of the down here is what I was sort of, this one here, what I was aiming for. So the difference in where you're going to build up is big. But this is just starting to add in where you want your black to go, because obviously there's going to be black in there, it's black hair, but you are going to be adding your highlights in with whites, blues and greys. And a lot of your black is actually not going to be as thick as you thought, because I always before had the illusion that black hair is going to be predominantly black, and it's not. There's a lot of other colors that go into it. So it's trying to get it to look as realistic as possible. So it's, as I said, important to have your pencil sharp. There will be a little bit of a, it's like a wax bloom because you're building up layers. So you might want to have a little brush handy. Oh, speaking of which, May, I need your assistance on this one. I was going to get myself a watercolor brush, a proper one, a round one. And I was looking at the sizes. So even if you're watching, anyone watching this as well, size 8, is that a good size? Number 8 on the round brush. I'll show you what kind of tip I was looking at. You know which ones I'm looking for. It's like a rounder one with a little point, so you can get quite a lot of colour in it. I was looking at 0.8, I think it was 8. There's so many sizes, I was getting a little bit boggled down there. It was just before I came on stream, so I couldn't ask you. And I was just having a little look because I've got those Rubens that I would like to use, but I want to put a proper brush for them. You know, I use Jackson's Art Supplies quite frequently because I bought my cases off of there too. Okay, so you see, starting to bring a little bit more black into it. Yeah, oh great, I went for the right one then. I'm thinking 8 looks like an all-rounder. And then I wanted a slight smaller one, so would a 4 or a 6 be good? Hi Ashley. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So to hold the most colour and to do the bigger details is an 8. Would a 4 be the one for smaller detail, would you say? Not tiny. Oh, 2. Thank you, guys. I knew I kept you around for something. Okay, so before I start going a little bit more back in with the black, I'm going to revert back over to my lighter blue. And I'm just going to reintroduce some of those highlights before I lose them, because we don't want to lose them. So back to 162, Fay Blue. Fay. That will be, yeah, not even going down that road. Do you know what? I'm just going to get a 2, 4 and an 8. I think. Thank you, lovelies. Because all these little zig detailers, you know, these what we get. These don't quite cut it when you want to do watercolour. These, you know, the zigs. So you got the detailer Kuritakis, they're the ones. I love these, but I don't want to use them for watercolouring. They're good for your colour books, but I want to, you know, a couple of decent brushes. So I shall have a look on Jackson's. Thank you very much, ladies. Okay, so I'm very, very lightly reintroducing some blues. And I'm going to press a little bit harder into that at the top. And then we start to build up the black in a moment. I'm going to go back to the Prussian. Yeah, I was just thinking 2 or 3. Because I have the tiny brush. I don't need the tiny ones, but I needed a good variant. And I thought 2 or 3 would be enough. Okay, so I'm bringing those blues in. And keeping with the direction of the hair, which we've already got in the image. We haven't got to plan that, thankfully. That one's already planned out for us because it's an already done, pre-drawn image for us. Now we can go start layering black in before we put our greys back. So very, very, very carefully bring your blacks in. It's going to be a little bit here, a little bit pronounced because there's a part of the illustration that's a bit darker anyway. So we don't want to see all these white gaps, but they won't be there. This is the build-up process. It takes a while. It takes a while. So I said black will probably be taking us a little bit longer than what we thought because it does take longest in general. So you can build up and flick those hairs from a point here. You have to make sure that your pencils are sharp, like super, super sharp. I'm just going with the direction of the hair. And then I'm just going to introduce back some grey. This is what I mean. It's a variation, I think, which is my French grey 808. And this goes more into where we've got our blues as well. And you'll get your own vibe and your own flow after one section. So you will end up getting the hang of it as well. Because the final round will be black, obviously, again. But you will have your highlights there, so it takes time. And then why I say bring in a Polychromo Black, for instance, is because it's oil. And it does the fine details before we start putting in, you know, whites and start adding in stuff. So with the Polychromo Black, it is so fine and it gets the best detail, in my opinion, to the waxy pencils. So I know it's predominantly Luminance, but I did say of a few additions, and the few additions will be the Polychromo Black. I mean, I was either between that or the Prismacolor. I think the Prismacolor is too waxy, so I like to use this as my detailing black because it gets the finest details in for me. I'm just going to turn my page, guys. And then we will add back some blues. So you can see the build up starting to build up a little bit better. It is a process. That's what I said. I promise you it will get there in the end. It just takes a little bit longer than the average hair that I usually am used to doing. Okay. I'm going to bring in some white. There's no point putting white onto that because this will also add in, it will take away some detail, but it'll also add in a few more of the, you know, the highlighted areas, so you can go over the blues. So just add those in. And it just reintroduces so that you can put them in. Because there's a few that might get a bit lost. Because obviously the black is so dark. Well, it's the darkest colour you can get. It's, I know they say it's not a colour. To me, it's a colour. You're putting it on paper, it's a colour. It's the absence, isn't it? The absence of colour black. Dash, well, he's got his bed coming this weekend. Hi, Stephanie. So I need to have a little think, but probably a few toys. Probably a few toys. He loves his toys dearly. Loves his toys. He loves soft toys, plush toys. He loves anything like that. So yeah, probably some toys. Bless his heart. He's a good chap, my little one. I love him to pieces. Come back to my blue, which is 162. And then I'm putting that into the highlighted areas again so that we got the blue highlight. As I said, you will see it. Yeah, it is true, KP. It's true. It's the absence of colour, even though I class them as a colour. The luminants are, yeah, exactly, May. You've got it spot on. They took me a while to learn. They, like most pencils, they are their own quality in terms of you get used to the use of them, you get used to the feel of them on papers, but they are amazing. I love them. I've got such a respect for them. Okay, and then we're going to build up back into some of our greys. Where's my greys one? This is the Sepia 10% 902. And we're going to do one final lay down and then we'll move on, and then we can always add, reapply and go on. But we have to start it up. Hold on, everyone. Just make sure I got this right into my highlighted areas. And then back to your black, and I'm going to bring in my poly because it's got the fine detail. And make sure that you've got your details in. It takes some time. So sorry if I'm quiet for a second, I'm just concentrating. So you can see that I'm not going heavy, but I am going a little bit overpressure. Shall I write that down, KP? No, I got my post-it notes beside me. Balloons. Okay, I'll put it down. Hi, Blue. Yeah, they love plush. He loves plushes. Yeah, we'll get it together. We will get it together. It takes some time, this one. Okay, so for the fine detail there, I'm going to bring in, with my black, there's some fine hairs. You need a very sharp point for this part, because otherwise it will lose that. It'll sort of muddy it a bit. So there is little tiny hairs that you've got to get with the fine detail. So we'll get there. Okay, so we're not going to fiddle with that bit too much, because what we're going to do is move on, and then we can fiddle at the end until we're happy with the result. So we're going to go back to our 808, and now we're going to do this whole section here. So I've done one section first to show you kind of where we're going to be with it. Hi, is it Neda? Neda? Hi, Tanya. How are you, dear? Okay. So as I said, good to have handy is a brush. I've got one coming, like a bigger brush, just to get any wax bloom or anything that you might have off. So now we're going to come back to our 808, and now we're going to start to take out some of this grayscaling and repeat some of the process. Now, I can't do it whilst I'm on screen. If you are doing this part here and you don't want to smudge because your hand might, start all that bringing the colour across or what have you, then put a bit of paper there. I'm going to try my hardest not to smudge, but you can always put, it's just a little tip, put a bit of paper there just to kind of like that, so you don't. But if I do that, it's really going to not be good on your eyes for me to do that. Oh, I'm glad. Remember, if there's anything, guys, that you want me to see in the chat, pop it in capitals if you're referring or talking to me, so that I see that when I look over at chat. Otherwise, chat goes quite quickly and I might miss it. So shout it out. Shout it out at me. Okay, so I don't want to lose the hair look. So small strokes built up, very lightly done. And just bring in that detail, take out some of that grayscale with the grey, which sounds bizarre, but you know what I mean. It's a different grey altogether. You're putting colour down. So you want to join this up. That will join once you put all the black in. And you'll see the different hair directions once you start to build it up anyway. You won't lose that. You'll keep that. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, May, I'll have a look. Thank you. Oh, goodness. Tanya, not having a good time with these operations, are you? How's your back doing after your back? Just allowing those strokes in. I'm going to keep some of that. You can see there's a little bit of a highlight there, so keep that as well. And you're just allowing this grey to do some of the work for you. And you've got a little bit of a direction here, so just keep that as well. Bye, Katrina. Thank you for joining. Take care, Dee. Thanks for coming on over. Have a good day, both of you. Okay, so same as here. Allow this. Allow this to come down, so you've got the hair started. You can add additional ones at the end if you want to, but it just starts to give you a base, something to work with. So I'm not going to sway from number 808 at the moment. The only other pencil that we introduce is a poly, and that's in black. So a Faber-Castell Polychromo is the only other pencil brand that we're going to use. It's predominantly done in Luminance, and the only reason that I do put in a poly is that it's nice and hard and easy to control. and gets the finer details in without the wax look. It's good to have them. So continuing that. We've had a couple of events and birthdays this month so far. It's been quite eventful for everyone. I'm so happy. Everyone seems to be in a very good, happy place at the moment, which is nice. Okay, so I'm bringing those up. And again, this is a little bit of a darker section, so I'm going to allow that to kind of be a bit darker by putting a little bit more of a pressure down, because you're going with the grayscale, remember. And then where the grayscale is finished and you've got more of a highlight, just really lightly, barely touch the paper. You're just bringing that up a little. So as I said, we're varying in pressures. Don't worry about that. We're varying in pressures. This would be light and this would be dark. This is really what I'm doing. I'm going that lightly on the paper as opposed to that. So it is a big, big difference. Oh, sorry, guys. Hiya, Elizabeth. You lurk away, dear. Thank you, Neda. Take care. Thank you for coming on over. Have a good day. I appreciate it. We've had a lot of new subscribers over the last 2 weeks, so I am very thankful. So again, these grayscale areas, we're going to bring some of the French grey into that, a little bit darker than the rest, and go with the direction of the hair and just swish that up a little, barely touching the paper. And again, bring that down. So you want to, this is going to be a big section where you can have a lot of blue. Has that changed colour in your screens, guys? Let's make sure you're not gone dark. Oh my goodness, Dash, yes I did. Yes, I did. It looks incredible. Faye, it's on Anastasia's, the artist YouTube, the flip through of Mysteria. It looks amazing. I was like, oh, yeah, I did. I know, right? Oh, KP, it's a new book coming out. It's available on Etsy to pre-order by Anastasia Ellie. Is it Calderova? I think that's how you say her surname. It's incredible. It's one of those books, isn't it, that you just look at straight away and know that it's going to be special. It's based all on portraits. But Faye, go on over. If you go, there's a new Facebook group as well for Anastasia called Creatively Colouring. Or I'll give, do you know what? I'll pop the links in the description with the rest of the description after. Let me write it down. So let me put after this is uploaded, I will put in Anastasia's flip through because we're referring to it, and the new Facebook group. And if you go on over to the Facebook group and there's any questions, I gave you the recommendation. Oh, you finally got KP. It's got elements of both. Hi, Shara. But it's amazing. Put it that way. I can't say that enough. Do you want me to quickly find it for you now? I mean, I have to just stop you for a second. I'll go to my history. Bear with me, guys. I'll find it for you. It's in my history. Here it is. 1 minute. I found it. 1 second. Here we go. Right, ready? Ready, ready. There you go. I'll put it into the script. Oh, thank you. That's the Lou's put for the Etsy link where you can buy it, and I have put the flip through. Oh, you're welcome. So there's both there for you, and when I've finished, yeah, KP is the same, but this one's special. And I've just put it there for you. So Lou's done the where you can buy it. I've put the flip through of the book. So, and I'll put them in. I'll include them in the description for those watching this back as well. Okay, I will crack on now because otherwise we'll be here forever and a day, and we won't get this done anytime soon. But yeah, this takes a bit longer in general. Okay, so we're going to go over to our lighter grey, which is the Sepia 10%, which is 902. Dash, definitely. And Momo Girls with music. That was pre-ordered as well. Yeah, but the we'll see when it all comes because a special someone actually ordered that. Desiree, go up to sleep. It's no good for you. I'll message you after. Love you lots. It does, Kimberly. It does. It does. Okay, so we're going to put this in. And as I said, into the highlighted areas, but very lightly. Malvina, it is. It's called Create. 1 second. It's called Creatively. So CreativeELLY colouring group. Have a wonderful sleep, Desiree. Go and rest your head. These headaches are no good for you. Yeah, so you got that. So it's Creative Ellie. I'll put it in the screen. Can you see that? It's Creative Ellie colouring group. And they've got the new one there. There's too many books. So I will pop them in the description after the video. And as I said, if you've not already entered the giveaway on the last stream, it's for the Artasia. It ends tomorrow midnight my time, because I will give you all a number and I'll work back to front and do the draw on Cozy Colouring Night. So don't forget, you've got until tomorrow midnight my time, UK time, to enter. Thanks, Caroline. Okay, so that's the second one. Now we're going to bring in the blues again. As I said, it's a process. And if you're here and you're in for the long haul of this, then good, because we're going to be here a while. Okay, 162. Now you're going to start to put it into the highlighted areas again. So bring those blues in. I'm hoping my tea fairy's home very soon. Or as we said, me and Lou, we'll cut his wings because he'll be sacked because I need tea. Okay, so as you can see, we're bringing, there's some highlights there. Some highlights here as well. And again, bringing into the highlights on these sections. So go the direction of the hair very lightly. So bring in that hint of blue before we come in with the darker blue. The thing is not to block colour it and do the small amount. Oh, Melvina. And hi, Melvina. It looks amazing. You'll enjoy it. I think that's one of the ones that we're all, based on taste, I say a lot of people do enjoy colouring portraits. There's obviously people that don't, but I've seen people colour portraits more frequently now than ever, which makes me happy. I love doing that. So anyone that likes to colour portraits, I think is a must, obviously within reason of budget. And it all depends on that, obviously. But yeah, it looks incredible. It's one that I'm very, very excited for, as well as Momo Girl's new one. Okay, so you can kind of see where we're going with this as well. It is beautiful. Yes, you do. KP. I'm going to have words. Your colouring is amazing, and you could do any of them justice. I don't know where you get that from. Okay, going back to my Prussian Blue now. And now I'm going in a little bit heavy with the blue highlight. So I'm going to go from the top as well. And this just heavies it up a little bit. Yes, that's the one, Pamela. That's the one. It is the one from the new Colouring Heaven. That's Anastasia Ellie. Yeah. So she does usually all the dragons, and this one's based now on portraits. So that lady is multi-talented, to say the least. That's her. You have got it spot on. So vary your pressure up. Take out some of the grey, but not too much of, because you still want to see it. It's there as your point, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to bring some of that round as well. And then I'm just going to bring some of that blue up. Again, bring some down. I'm just going into the highlighted areas as well. So you can see it starts to build up a blue undercoat. Ah, thank you, Melvina. Always happy to see you. Oh my gosh, I cannot even begin to tell you. Dash, that's going to be one in the future for me. The Laura Rafferty, Laura Colours 2. Yeah, that might be, I'll splash out at Christmas and buy myself that one. It's one that I've been eyeing up. Not sure if I'm going to buy it now or later, but I'll buy it at some point over December. Yeah, Laura, she's put, Laura is lovely. She has put so much effort, and I've watched this book from beginning to end grow, and it's the circular portrait. So it's Laura Rafferty, and her Etsy is called Laura Colours 2, and she's incredible, and she does amazing art, and she's grown so much, and it's been a joy to watch her, and she's an amazing colorist. Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it? Okay, back to black. Did you like that one? That's Amy Winehouse's. So now we're going to bring in that black and start to layer it in on the darkest parts first. And you want to keep some of this, you know where it goes, the directional changes, you want to keep that. So you can always, that's where the white will come in handy. So for now, we're going to just start to plan the black. So bring the black in and down to where you would like it to go. So we're going to start introducing it in. Thank you so much, May. She does work hard. It's been gorgeous watching her. It really has. I've got so much respect for Laura. It's been lovely to see all her posts on Instagram. And she's incredible. She really is amazing. I think she's done that book justice by a million times. And she's also got a YouTube channel, if you didn't know, guys, where she has done the sprite out of her book, and that looks amazing. So go and show Laura some love. Okay, so just bringing this very lightly, bringing my black in to start with. And again, I'm bringing the direction of the hair round, following what we've got. So keeping the highlights with the blue, that's why your blue's there. And plan where you want to put your black in. And as I say, this is not a tutorial because I'm not a professional, not like some people out there. There's some professional artists that would do this a million miles better than I do, but I'm showing you how I would do it. It might help someone, and that's the main thing. Okay, so we're starting to build that pressure up. Okay. Oh, Lisette, go lay down. Thank you so much, and I wish you better. Oh, and that, KP, there's too many. And, you know, we've seen my stream on how many books I've owned or I own. And yes, I add, and I'm happy. So that's that. But yes, Steampunk Darlings by Hannah Lynn looks amazing. She's one of my favourite artists, Hannah Lynn. One of my favourites. She's incredible. I've always loved her stuff. Okay. So we need to do like a colouring monthly if there's enough books, like a colouring book news monthly. I think that would be cool, like a short 5-minute video on all the new releases. If there is some, that would be informative, I think, for people. Might be an idea, another idea there. Okay. So I am really just planning in where I want my black to go. And then you can vary a little bit more pressure now. So you can see it starts to build up. Oh, Rachel, don't ever be sorry. Hi, Bridget. It's nice to have you here. Don't be sorry. I always say, guys, life first. Life is first. And if you can't be around or you got commitments, that's first, it's priority. Go do your thing. If you've not been on, you know, well, then you go relax and heal up and make sure that you're better and prioritize yourselves. And I'm always going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. So I love having you around, but you go look after yourselves. Make sure that you're okay. Okay. So, yeah, as you can see, we're starting to build those layers up and in. And you still kept your highlights for now because you will build that in anyway. You'll put the black in there after. So we'll fiddle with this as we go along. And we will add in a different depth of black as we progress through the image. Hi, Elena. Oh, Rachel. Say the new normal. Say the new normal. We adjust, don't we? Okay, so now I'm building up a higher pressure with my pencil. And you can see as I put my pencil up that I literally flick it out. And you can bring in longer strokes and build on that as you come up. Yeah, so can you see that it's starting to build it? I've not heard of that one, I don't think, KP. Oh, it's so exciting, Dash. Puppies. I love puppies. Puppies are everything. I love dogs. I'm a dog gal. You have a cat, a dog. I'm a dog. Dog gal all the way. I love cats, though. I love all animals. I really do. I could have everything and anything, but yeah, dogs all the way. I love puppies. Little legs. You got Dachshunds. That's just amazing. I love them. And Victoria here, she's still here, bless her. She's got a beautiful Dachshund. Her little girl, her little dog daughter as well. So she's got Dash. Is it Dachshunds? Is that how you say the name? Okay, now I'm going to go over back to some blue and introduce a little bit into there again. So I'm bringing it up into the black and varying my pressure as we go through. So you can just flick it into the black because you're going to put it into your highlights. You don't want to lose your highlights. And we will bring our Polychromo Black, which will put the fine detailing in, and our grey. So you can see it. The French grey will come back in a minute as well. Becca, thanks for coming on in. You have a good day. Oh, Gillian. Hi, Gillian. Every now and then one of the lurkers, that my lovely lurkers, pop in and I'm like, hi. Did I say it okay? We've got to love a lurker. Ah, Lena, this is the whole point in why I like doing them. If it helps that one person, I've achieved something. Going back to my French grey, and I'm going to put that more towards the highlights and just add a little bit of a variation in these colours. Now, the grey, you won't see a huge amount onto the black, obviously, because it's a lighter colour to the black. So however, you will see it in your highlighted areas. So you can be generous on your amount and pressure of medium. Don't ever go too hard on these things because you can't go back from hard. You can layer up and go from medium or light, but you can't go back if you're going hard. So it's better to go at a sort of medium rate of pressure. You work and lurk. I love that. You're welcome. Honestly, I say it all the time. It is my absolute pleasure to do the videos. Always, always. Absolute pleasure. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in my 902 back into my highlights. And I'm going to just slightly bring where we've got that different directional change. We're going to just sort of separate that a little bit. And there's one here as well. And there's one there. So just kind of go along those because you're going to, it will muddy out the black a bit, but that's fine. Oh, nice, Suzanne. And hiya. Oh, Tammy, we've done that one. We've done the Ombre Galaxy. We've done it. But we're going to do the next one. You're going to, I hope you're going to love. We're going to do unicorn hair. So pastel ombre unicorn. But we're going to call it unicorn hair. And I've already got a reference. So I'm going to start planning that. That's okay, Suzanne. I love comments like that because it's helpful to people. You lurk away, dear. Lurk away. Yeah, your unicorn's next. Your unicorn is certainly next. Okay, then I'm going to grab white. Just going to reintroduce some highlights. Then we're going to go in with our black again. So the white is literally to add into the highlights because it will take it out, but that's okay. So it just adds some highlights into our highlights area, and then it will help with the directional change of hair so that you can see it when you go in with your black again. So into your highlights. Okay. And then we're going to go in with our Polychromo Black because it's our detailer black. And now we can add those really fine hairs. And I'm flicking it down. And the thing with hair as well is it all comes together when it's all done as opposed to looking at it like this. So it's better when it's all done. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. So when the whole page is done, it looks so much better than looking at section by section because it's just a case of building, isn't it? And then it's the same with this part here. So Just very fine lines. And I'm going to have to turn a second, guys. Hi, Faye. Hi, Kim. Good to see you, Kim. So the polychromo, it gets into the fine hairs. So you start to build those up. So, yeah, I love the poly. It's the only pencil set that I find gets into the small details. So I'm just going with the flow on this one. Yeah. So then I'm going to get, oh, where is it? My Prussian Blue. I'm just looking for my cards at the same time. And I'm just going to add that again into, before we move on to the next section. So if you want any, like where you can put it into another pencil set if you've not got the Luminance comparison charts, Colour with Claire does them. So I'm sure she's done comparison charts if you look over on her site. Thank you. Thank you. You watch and learn, Mike. And then I'm just going to lastly, once more, because I just need to deepen it a little bit more until I'm pretty happy with the result. I'm just going to deepen with the Luminance Black because I've got all my highlights now. And then we're going to move on to this part and down, and then we'll work our way up. This part's got more of a highlight, so we'd have a little bit more blue pronounced into that. So we're working our way sort of one side and back up. So we'll do it that way. Do you know what? Has anyone else watched it's old now, but you remember the True Blood series? Sookie Stackhouse True Blood, where it used to be on the telly? The vampires. I've had a feel to watch some of those again. Not even the whole thing, just a few episodes. I used to love that program. I used to have Eric. Oh my goodness. I was Eric over Bill any day. If anyone's watched them, you'll know what I mean. Okay, so we're going to build it up. We're going to move on to this section now. Oh yeah, it was a rubbish ending, but I loved it. Me too. Me too. I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. It was brilliant. Oh my goodness, it was my thing to sit and watch when I used to come in from work once a week. It used to be on, and I used to come in from work, settle down, and watch it. Okay, now come back to our French grey, and as I said, we're going to work our way down section by section. And yes, it's a long slug of a ride, this one. So we'll try and speed it. The thing is, I don't want to speed it up too much because it will come out poop. So just taking some of that grayscaling out very lightly. And then that's it. So bring those down. It's just going again with the direction of the hair. There's a little bit of a section here which is lightly grayscaled. So you bring that up as well and bring that into this area because that will have a little bit of a bluey tinge there. So allow to meet those strands with the French grey. Ah, no, I knew you'd like it. It was very adult. I know. I used to love it. I used to love it. And the guy that played Lafayette, he passed away, didn't he? He was a character and a half. But I was disappointed how it ended. Oh, just, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to spoil it out loud with people that are like, no, I haven't watched it. I want to go watch it now. But I was disappointed on the very last episode, at the very last scene. I was like, no, why do you do this to me? He did. He did. He was so creative as well. It was a shock when he died because he was fairly young. All right, so we're going into this little bun tie wrap, hair wrap. It's her own hair, so it's like a wrapped section. So I'm going to use the French grey to also make this stand out. And I'm going to go with the direction of the hair that's provided with the illustration and add that French grey in as well. So just keep with the, it's like a wrap, so it goes sort of round. So use your hand to make it go round, just like that. Oh, I don't watch that one. I know you like the guy in it. With the blue eyes. I don't know his name, KP, but I know you like him. We'll just call him Baby Blue Eyes. I've never watched Vikings, ever. Okay, so I think I might do this and then come down to the ponytail. Okay, so then we're going to go to our lighter grey, which would go into the highlights. Are you all okay to stay with this? Because we've got a little while to go. Is it Ragnar? He says, I don't know, his blue eyes. His blue eyes. Debbie! What, on the giveaway? I hope you've entered yourself in. It's open to anyone. Okay, so highlights. We're going in with our lighter one. You never know, Debbie. You've got to be in it to win it, as they say. Everyone's got an equal chance, so in it to win it. Stick yourself in there. Oh, he's Australian. Oh, that's the one. Trevor Femmel, blue eyes. But you come from a Viking family. Oh, did you see, May? It was in the news in Norway. You're Norwegian, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you're from Norway. Yeah, of course you are. The white reindeer that was spotted the other day, it's so rare in Norway, a Norwegian white deer. It's so beautiful. It's so Christmassy. It was just a rare sight. It was on the news, so I don't know if you've seen it, guys, but what a beautiful animal. I was amazed. I was like, oh, I've never seen one. Yeah, you've got a lovely white reindeer over there at the minute that was spotted, and it's so rare these days. And I was so excited about it. It's not even in this country, and I was excited. No, it's not albino. No, it's just a rare white one. He doesn't have red eyes. It was just, yeah, beautiful. Okay, going back to our 162, and now again, you've got your highlighted areas, so try and keep within those. And I am barely touching the paper here, so if you're doing this, put it in there, but don't press hard. Then I'm going to stick the kettle on because I've done so much talking and we've still got such a big stint to go. So I will suggest you get a drink as well. If those that are sticking this out with me and watching the entire thing, I will just keep explaining my process, you know, repetitively, because those that do watch this back, you know, it might help. So again, this is quite a heavily highlighted area, so you can tell. So I'm going to put a little bit more of a blue lay down in this area in general. You're going to take some of that out with black, so don't worry. So you want to have some in there. Okay, then we're going to get our dark blue, which is our Prussian blue. Hi, Bella. And we're going to pronounce some of that blue. And flick up your pressure. And again, here as well. And the same into this hair wrap. Now I'm going a little bit with this circular, like round. So I'm going to go in both directions. There we go. And then you can start to bring in your black now. So we're going to start off with our Luminance Black out of the two. I've never watched it. I'm so behind in things. Okay, so we're going with our black, and we're going to bring in those strands that we want and we need now. So again, your first lay down of black is not your final result. So we're planning, guys, we're planning. So that's the whole thing with this. I plan and plot like you would with a map. I suppose I treat the illustrations a bit like a map, so where I'm going. And then I build on it till I get to my final destination. That's kind of how I look at these things. Not all colouring pages, like this particular process, I mean, of hair. So you want the directional change to be visible, but not like a big gap. So you can start to add your changes in. I told you, Elizabeth. I told you. It's amazing. I'm glad you like it. Gotta love a Yorkshire brew. Good cup of tea. Can't beat it. Sorry to those coffee lovers, but you can't. Gotta love a cup of tea. Always have done. Okay, so again, I'm going to sort of allow that to be visible, but I don't want too much of a change. Now, there's this little section here, and I am going to put some black in there, but I want that to be a highlight. So keep the highlight, and then build your pressure up a little bit with these strands. And there is little fiddly bits in this. Can you see it? It kind of just goes with it. So fan those out. You've got a point, fan it out, and I'm pressing fairly heavy on that bit. I'm just going to allow the pencil to flick out, and again with this part, I'm just gonna, oh, there we go. You can fiddle. Hair is like, they're not thick, they've got little strands, so you can do your own strands coming down. See what I mean? You can kind of just add them in as you go. Are you getting your hair done? Okay, Starbucks, I'm going to be doing that myself in a second, sweets. Because mine went cold. You can see my cup now. Mine's gone a bit cold now. But you see it's a reindeer one. I got it from Asda yesterday. My cup of tea went cold, and I hate cold tea. Can't drink it. I need a fresh cup. Okay. So we're going to add those in. Build on it. Can you see? If I turn it that way, can you see the blues in it? Hope you can. Yes, I know, but I haven't got a plug point. I need to buy one of those. What are they, like the tower extenders where you put all the different plugs in? I need a tower one, not a lay down one that stands up. I'm going to buy one of those. But can you see the blues in that, guys? If I turn it, can you see it? As long as you can see the highlights. So you can see the highlights in it, and it looks a bit more realistic rather than flat black. So then I'm going to bring back some of my blue. So we're going to repeat the process on all sections. And that goes into your highlighted areas. And you can allow some of it to go into the black, because don't worry, you're going to come back with your black. And the same into this little knot, this little wrapped part of hair. And then fan it out again, so you've got some of that blue. So then you're going to quickly bring in your darker blue, just to pronounce that a little bit. So into the tops and fan down. You're going to come with your poly black after. You've just got one grey to do into the highlights. Just a little bit, because it's only a little bit of hair. Then you've got your French grey, 808. Where did I put that? I'm going blind. I've got my glasses on, I promise you. Okay, 808. And this is going to just be where we use, especially in this part here, to show where the direction changes, especially as well on the wrapped part. Hold on. Yeah, but the computer's all the way over the other side of the room, Lou. So I'm going to get one of those tower extenders, because the plug point's literally where I sit, but it's taken over with the light. I've got the two lightings, haven't I? And the, what else is plugged in? Two lightings. Oh, and the candelabra behind me. So I'm going to get one of those little tower extension leads, so I can plug, because we got we got a daylight lamp. You know, I think this, I can't remember. Everyone asked me which one it is. It's Teotronics. It's like $69.99. It's a lot of money. Then I've got the studio lighting above me, which is one of those big, huge ones that stands over me. And then I've also got the candelabra, the Christmas candelabra behind me. So I'm going to buy one of those little extension points so I can plug it in and literally plug myself up while I'm on stream. So I can also, if I need to do the blow, you know, the little dryer, I can put that in there as well if I need to dry the page. So I'm all plugged up over here. All right, and back to my Polychromo Black. Now it's fine detail. Make sure that you got a nice sharp, you see, nice sharp point. And let's do some loose strands come in. And add some of those strands in. And that will just enable the strands to look more realistic. So, yeah. Okay, and that is that section, I think. Yeah, everyone loves, I absolutely loved it. Okay, so I'm just going to get my white a second. See, we don't have HBO channel over here, but we can, they do it on other channels like Fox. Fox has The Walking Dead. I've still got to catch up with the last two. So don't shoot me. Randy loves it, bless her. Don't shoot me, Randy, if you're still here. I still haven't caught up, girl. I've not caught up. I need to catch up. 2 weeks worth, but it's finished again now. So sorry, that was white, and I'm just gonna, this is still my Polychromo Black. I'm just adding in the final details before I move on and do the next section. Right, so can you see that now? It's sort of building up, but you've got a lot of depth in it. So many. Ah, Joshua, that's okay. Take care. Thanks for joining as always. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to go back to, I'm going to stick the kettle on, guys. Do you want to go and get yourselves one as well? So I'm going to put this in the screen. This is, I've got another, this is to start the streams off with. I'm going to go quickly put the, yeah, it's on a mid-season break. I don't like it when they do that. I have to wait forever for the next one. I'm just grabbing a cup of tea, everyone. So grab your teas if you need to, or your drink, or a little snack, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just needed a fresh cup of tea. When you talk so much, you need a fresh tea. It's essential. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. That's better. All right, so we're going back to our French grade 808. Sorry, I just really needed tea. Okay, so back to 808. I think I got it in the top. I might have to put it on the side, everyone. So we'll put it here because I'm going to be putting the page like up. That's better. So, yeah, I'm going straight in because we've got a little bit of a process here. And I'm taking out some of this grayscale. And I'm just using the grayscale that the illustrator or the illustration has got in there for us. So it's a bit grayscale, but you're taking that out. And if you didn't have grayscale in your image, you can put it in with the same process as which I'm doing. So you can grayscale it up. And it is the same technique, building up strokes and allowing the strokes to dictate in a way where you're going with it. Louise, I know I have an up and down relationship with that. If I want to chip, no noise. No. He's waiting for Andrew. So every little noise he hears, he thinks it's Andrew coming in, and it's not. Dogs, they make me laugh. They're so clever, aren't they? So clever. They're more intelligent, I swear, than sometimes than humans. Okay. So I'm putting as well in this part here, and there's a tiny little bit at the top corner, so you're going in there, so a tiny bit. And then I'm going to bring that grayscaling down here as well. Are you all still with me? I hope you're all still enjoying it. I know they're long processes. So very lightly, I'm going to have to resharpen this one. This is a good question for you all. What's your most used colour out of your pencil sets? What colour is your most used? Mine's easy. Mine's buff titanium. I've used 4 of them so far in my colouring, like in their little babies, and light peach, I'd say, but no, I'm not caught up either. But buff titanium is my most used, and this is exactly how I use them down to. You'll laugh. Look how small that is. And I'm getting there with my white as well. But I've got 4 of these, and that's buff titaniums. Look how small they are. I get the most use out of my babies. I'm like, have to get my money's worth. But yeah, it's my most used. Buff titanium is my most used, which is no surprise to a lot of people. Yours white, buff titanium, light peach, nectar, and henna. So skin tones, Caucasian skin tones, and whites. Yeah, quite frequently Mum messages me, Sam, when you next do an order, can you order me some whites? Oh, Shara, I got it in that sharpener, come rain or shine. It was going in there. It was on an extender, and it was going in that sharpener, whether I had to force it in there or not. And I managed to. It's like, it's going in there. Yep, I am getting my money's worth out of my buff. Okay, so again, I'm bringing very lightly the grey scaling up. I'm adding the strokes a bit longer than what they are. and making sure that you can see the difference in strokes as you're going through the variations of your pressures. So you're going medium light, you know. So obviously towards the top is a bit more pressed down, a little bit harder. And as you're coming down, you're varying it to a very light shade. So keep with that. And you will see the strokes. It makes it very defined. Just keep with it. And as I said, we'll you know, tidy it up a little bit at the end, but you're getting it down first to start with. And then towards the end, we'll really sort of make it, wrap it up and finish it up. So just bring that round, follow the strands. This one's a little section that changes here, so make sure you follow that. And the same with the ponytail here. So you can very lightly add those strokes in and bring and drag your pencil down very lightly. Crystal, these ones, what the work in progress sheets that I've used in the past, Lady V designs. So the work in progress sheets is Lady V designs on Etsy. That's work in progress sheets. See that Lady V? It's got to have a V. So that's the ones that I've used before. I've not actually got any work in progress sheets with me at the moment because what I'm doing on stream is going to be finished on stream. But if I'm doing something and I need to remember the colours and I'm coming back to or revisiting, I use them. Oh, and I also, a little bit of exciting news, I suppose. It's exciting. You've probably heard of it already. But Albert over at Black Widows is going to send out a review set when it's released of the new skin tone Black Widows in January. So we can do a colour along with just Black Widow sets. And as I said to you when we did the charts on the skin tones and we did all the comparisons of the, you know, the different pencils budget up to the most expensive ones, they lacked skin tones, but that will all be completely changed. Yeah, there's 2 to a page. Yeah, KP, they're doing 12 and 12 Caucasian, 12 like darker skin tones, and they're doing it as a 2-12 sets to make up 24. Yes, they will. Yeah, 12 and 12 they're doing. It's going to be 12. Yeah, I thought that was a good thing to do. So instead of doing 124 set, they're going to do 12 Caucasian and 12 like tan going up to sort of Caribbean skin. So that's good. I was really excited about that. And he seems very generous and kind, especially towards channels and stuff. So that will be exciting. And I'm looking forward to that. They released the information that it's going to be out at the beginning of January. So we haven't got that long now until they are released. And we will also be reviewing a few things coming up. I won't say yet until they are with me. Which will be exciting as well. So there's quite a few bits to come up. That's okay, Faye. You look away. Yeah, January. Yeah. See, because I'm constantly sitting here sort of thinking up as well with, you know, things that we've got coming up in colour alongs and stuff. And we want to keep our live streams as authentic as possible. So true to the channel of what we've always been and just relax. So we colour, we do live colour alongs, we cover content, we cover new products, you know, etc., etc. But you've also got to think about it's growing quite quickly. And I want to have content that excites people. So, you know, there's quite a few things coming up. And I thought, well, why not? So the Black Widow sets sound really exciting, and I thought that would be a nice thing to cover. They're nice and budget friendly as well, so they're within a lot of people's price budget range. And I thought it'd be a really good idea to review them and do a live colour along with the skin tone set. So as you can see, I've not gone from my French grey. I'm just going over the entire ponytail, and I am taking out the grayscale with the French grey. So I'm leaving highlighted areas, and I am just continuing to the same pattern and building up the variations. There we go. So just bring that in. And that's what I want to be doing with that one. That's okay, Mike. Thank you so much for joining. As always, you have a good day. And now we're going to go over to our lighter grey. Are you all okay to still stay with this black hair ride? Because it takes a while. Ah, same here, mate. They're one that I actually use an awful lot. Black Widows, I really do, and I can't say enough nice things about them. They are incredible, and they're so budget friendly. And they're one set that I say to everyone, if you're just looking for a budget set that you really would like, go for that and you've got it all. But the skin tones were lacking. I'm going over to my Sepia 10% 902. Now I'm going to bring some of those lighter grey tones into the highlighted areas that are in our hair and allow the pressure of the pencil to stay very, very light on the page. And drag that colour up, but don't lose the other grey colour, because that is going to be our guide with our blues and our black. So you're bringing it into the highlighted area to take out the white and have some grey, but you're going to put blues in there. And you know the cue, it's been sort of going on. Yeah, because they've obviously seen where they lacked or where they had to improve. My favourite set out, I love them all, but my favourite set out of the three was the Cobras for the earthy tones. There's quite a few colours that I love in that, and I use an awful lot. So they've obviously seen that there was a gap in their products in terms of skin tones. So they've done it, and they've not just done it by adding a few, they've done 2 sets of 12. Yeah, they're going to be skin tones. So to cover all bases, they've not just done like a small set, they've done 2 12 packs to make up the 24 pack, like the other cut, you know, the other sets are 24. And they've covered all bases, going from the lightest, palest tones up to the darkest, like chocolate skin tones. So they've really thought about this, and it sounds like it's an amazing production line. And I really hope that they are as incredible as their other pencils, because I cannot fault them. I really can't. I love them. And they go hand in hand with my Artesias, which are all budgets as well. Okay, so now we've got that grey down. That's okay, Ray. Hi, Ray. It was, Sarah, it was supposed to be, December, early December, so now. But there was a little bit of a blip and a little bit of a hiccup. So now it will be in January. But it'll be worth the wait. Okay, now we're going over to our, I'm going to call it Faber Blue 162. And again, like we have been doing for the entire time, we are going to put the blue into the highlighted areas most. And there's quite a few highlights in this part of the ponytail. So go with strands of a sharp pencil and go into those highlighted areas quite lightly, but you want to have them visible, because this is your highlight. And of course, I might be doing this completely wrong, but this is my version and how I do it. You know, other people might do it magnificently. Take care, Ashley. Thank you so much. You have a good day. Thanks for joining us. So bringing those strands up into the highlights here, keeping the strands quite slim and quite light. As I say, you can go back from light. You can't go back from just going on full-blown steam ahead and putting your pencil down like your life depends on it. You got to be a little bit lighter on your touch with this so that you've got a variation and you can build on. So that's what we're doing. And we're going to sort of bring a different amount into each section there. Hi, Gracelyn. We are working on black hair, my dear. Yeah, I did say, because sometimes I don't see the chat, so thanks, guys. I know you all know by now, because my head's down doing this, I miss a lot of chat. So if I haven't covered it, I really appreciate you saying it. Okay, so we come back to our blue after. We're going to go to our Prussian blue. And now it's going to be a little bit heavier on our lay down, not massively, just a tad, like just a touch of pressure onto your paper is going to make a bit of a difference now. So bring those strands like an umbrella down. So you know an umbrella, you've got a point and then it sort of sprays out. That's what we're doing. I'm going to sort of go round with the hair direction, same with that part, and just keep with it. Well, I'm not doing the skin on these, but if I did have very fair, then it would be you. I love dark hair. I can just never get away with it, hence why I've got blonde, because my eyebrows are very pale and light. If I went dark, I would look like I've got no eyebrows and I'd look a bit odd. I have done dark once. My mum hated it. I've done brown a couple of times and I liked it, but my mum hated when I went very dark. No, Sam, no. I don't live at home, by the way. My mum just still has a say over my hair colour. Okay, I'm just adding in that Prussian blue. So you're going to see a little bit more blue in here than usual because there's a lot of highlights. But you're going to put some black in a minute. We've not put our black in yet at all. We've got our blues down. Hiya, Helly. Your mum looks amazing, KP. I love Mummy P. She's a beautiful woman. KP's mum is like stunningly amazing. Ah, thank you, Mo. Okay, so we're going to bring our black Lumi. Now we're going to start planning where we want our blacks to go. I think I might have to move that up, everyone. Or no, actually, we can move it this side so my hand's not on it. Bear with me. There we go. I just gave myself a pinch. Ah. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our black. And as I say with the black, don't go in full blast to start. Come in and vary your pressure and plan where you're going to have your black put most. So in small strokes up. KP, what are you having done? You having your braids? Thank you, Gracelyn. They are amazing, aren't they? But I say that about everything that I have. I genuinely love art supplies for what they are and what joy they can bring in all forms. So Luminance have got such an arrangement of colours that are incredible. So I'm bringing in that black where I would like it most to be. Are you having your braids? Oh, Gracelyn, where have you been? You need them. You need them in your life. No, they are crazy amazing for the money, Black Widows. Crazy amazing. Okay, so we're bringing that black in. We're not going over all the blue, but we are going to take out some, obviously. The blue's there to plan for us. It'd be nice to do a blue to black hair as well, I think. So, you know, you're black and then you've got blue tips. That would be fabulous. We could kind of do that with this. But I'm not going to. I'll just do black for now. Gracelyn, it is... Oh, mine's like that all the time. This is from Mariola Budek's Etsy. If you go to the description of this video and click on the link, so you can close the chat, go to the description, you'll find the link. It's a pack. You can't buy them individually. Take care, Dash. Thanks for joining us always. Oh, you bought the Artesias. You are going to enjoy them. They are amazing. And as I said, those that have joined late, well, you didn't see my last stream. I'm giving away the 48 set of Artesias, which I used on the red hair tutorial. Not my pack, a new pack. So if you've not already entered yourself one entry per person, I am closing the giveaway entries tomorrow at midnight my time. Any entries after midnight will not count. So I will check the times it was put in. So it gives everyone a fair shot. And because I'm going to give everyone a number. So if you haven't, go get yourselves into it. Comment under the last stream. The last stream, it will say a giveaway announcement. Comment in the comments underneath that video. And you have to say that you want to be entered so that I can give you a number. So if you haven't already got the Artesian, you really would like to try them. It is an international giveaway. So just put yourselves in there. You've got nothing to lose. Okay. Just be a subscriber. Subscribe. So I'm putting this black in on the parts that I would like. I'm not doing it heavy. I want to get some of that blue back in after. But again, like I say, you've only gone with your first set of layers and it builds up. So it's a good thing to just kind of plan it out. So you've got a round part there where its direction changes. So you want to kind of see that as well. Now this part's going to have a bit more blue, so we'll keep that as it is for a second. That will be a good thing. Take care, Shara. Thank you so much, Helly. Yeah, the blue gives it a highlight. You can also put some of the reddy brown, as Morticia gave me that tip. If you wanted to do that instead of the blues. You can also add a tiny bit in if you want to. That was a maybe, that one. But we're going to have a fiddle with it at the end. Tidy it up. So we're just getting the most part down now. So the one thing I will say is that it does eat your pencils a little bit doing the hair because you've got to constantly have a sharp pencil. So I would say if you're doing hair, especially black, and you've only got a little tiny bit, because black is most used, I think, in a lot of our work because we do our shadows with black. We add in details with black. We do a lot in black, don't we? As well as white, highlights and shadows, etc. Grab yourself a second one. That's what I'm going to do. When I get off the stream, I'm going to update the description that with the new Anastasia Ellie stuff that you wanted to know about. And and I will take a screenshot of what we've done to upload the thumbnail, and I will go and get myself a couple more blacks and whites. So mum, is my mum still here? I know my mum will usually put her order in, bless her. Yeah, thank you, Louise. Because my mum's like, Sam, can you grab me? So I need to get some black and whites. Black and whites are most used, I think. I didn't even know you went there, Lou. Shows you I didn't look up at the time. Okay, so we've got this, and then we just got this top bit. It shouldn't take. I mean, it would probably take another hour. Who am I kidding? But yeah, that's how long it takes. This is real-time colouring, real time, and real time. It takes a while because there's a lot of a highlight up the top. That's the thing, you know, if you have, it's great to have a sped up colouring, but that probably took the person just as long. And I'm not slow. I've sped up a lot. It does take a while to process this. Is the sound okay for you all? Or is it just a few of you having technical issues, or is it my end? Okay, so before we then put more black in, we're going to head on over back to our blue and add some more into our highlights again, because we lose some of that. So go into your highlighted areas, very lightly bring and introduce some blues back into where you want it to show. So you really are just going over in layers really of what you've done. So it's just allowed what you originally put in to come and shine back through. Okay. Oh, okay. I was wondering because someone else said their sound was off as well. Or you can always blame YouTube like I do. That's my usual one. It's YouTube's fault. If in doubt, blame YouTube. Okay, so just introducing some of that blue back before we go back in after. Again, darker this time. And go with the directional change. Add in as you go along. You want to have on the outside a little bit of a highlight. So keep with that. And the same with this part. Okay, so these will be in grey, so don't worry about that. So you go to your French grey, which is your original colour. Now you can introduce some of that over so that all these white spaces, you've got white strands, you don't want those. They want to be gone. You want to banish those into the realms of nowhere. So take those out with your grey. Take out those white spaces that you might have as gaps. Don't want them. They've got to go. Be done with them. So bring that French grey in strands and take them out. See you later to them. Okay. Can you see now it's starting to build up a bit more? And then we're going to come back before we add our highlights and back again. I just want to pronounce some of the details. So you're going to get your polychromo. The reason why is your polychromo is a lot thinner as opposed to your, if you look at the two, this one's oil, your polychromo's oil, and it will be a lot easier to control with detail. This is a lot thicker on lay down, so it could become like it's a little bit hard. They're harder lead for sure, Starbucks. Hard for sure. They're more like a polychromo than a Prisma, if that makes sense. So they're a lot harder than a wax based. So they're great for layering and detailing, like amazing. Okay. So nice detailed strands now, and I'm pressing quite firm here. They're amazing for the price. I can't even stress that enough. Like, if there's a budget brand that you want to try, if you like a harder pencil, like a Poly, comparable to a Poly or a Pablo, try the Black Widows. You can't go wrong with them. Hey Kenny, how are you doing, sweet? So again, bringing up the details are very, very fine. Nice, it's done. I'm going to bring one out so that we've got a bit of a, you see, so just like this hair. Hi, Connie. What do I think about the Pablos? At first, I didn't like them personally because I couldn't get along with them, but they go hand in hand with Polychromos. Hey, Robin, thank you. So again, I'm going to mess some up and I'm going to bring some out. Like, it's, you know, hair's not always neat. Mine certainly is never neat. I've always messy hair all the time. So I'm going to bring some out like it's, you know what I mean. So it's sort of pronounced out a little bit. I don't think I know what the meaning of neat hair is, to be fair. Really, I can blow dry my hair and in a little while longer I've messed it up. I don't know what it means to have neat hair. So my girls, I usually have a few strands coming out here and there. Okay, so I really am building that up. Yeah, Connie, it's really hard. At first, I really couldn't get along with them. Really couldn't get along with them. Yeah, Jane, on the last stream, in the comments underneath, not on this one. I'm bringing my white. That's a terrible person to have not changed that. You need to go to the last stream, and it will say giveaway announcement on it. I will update the description. You've got until tomorrow midnight anyway. You will see in the comments people have already put I'd like to enter. So it's obvious from the comments already. There's so many comments already there, so many entries. But you've got to state that you want to be entered so that I know. Because some people comment on the videos, but they don't want to be entered, you know, which is fair enough. So you have to say, I would like to be entered for the giveaway, please. And I will give you a number on Saturday morning. Write all your names down, and we'll do on Cozy Colouring Night with Jen. I will do the giveaway winner, and I will get it ordered the same day. If that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to come to my back to this for a second. I think I'm going to do a few strands coming off. There we go. I'm just going to add a few bits on there as well. Just build it up a bit. I'm going to put a little bit more blue into it, and then we're done on this section. We'll move up. And then we're on the last sort of finishing home stretch when we move on up over there. So I want this part to be quite thick because it's got quite a lot of highlight in it that I don't like personally. Take care, Rachel. She's winding you up. They're hard. They're hard. They're not soft. I promise you. I'm not lying to you. Okay, going to my Prussian blue. I don't want to go to my lightest. I'm going to come to my Prussian and all those highlights. Chip, you're snoring your little head off down there. He woke himself up by coughing then. adding that in. As I said, you want to banish the white areas. You don't want the white areas. You go. Okay. What was it I wanted to add very quickly? Just finish this last bit off. I'm going to add them out. So I'm very lightly layering up that black. Right, I think that section, if I just turn that a second, you can do you see the blues in there? Okay. Can you see all the blues popping through? So you've got all the highlighted sections. So it's coming to life. I'm quite happy with how it's coming out. Right, we'll move over to this section now. So I'm going to move my clip up here. We are on the last, like, moving on up. Thank you. I'll put this there, I think. Yeah. Right, so as I said, we're going to come up here. We're going to come to this part. So like before, we're going to go over to the French grey. Thank you, Kenny. Thanks, guys. No, yeah, I like doing the loose strands. They kind of just add to me, if you're putting them in, they kind of give the illusion of hair, like especially with me, with my hair. Yeah, exactly. They're definitely. I'd put them on par with them as well. Definitely. Right, we shall move on up. We will go back to our French grey, which we've got there. I'm going to make sure I've got a nice sharp pencil. And then we're going to add, I'm going to have to turn you ever so slightly because I'm at an angle over here. You should see my dog. He's making a bed. Chip, you're right there. He's trying to make a bed with his new blanket. If I try, hold on. If I try and show him. Do you want to see? That's the lead. Ignore the lead because I have to put a lead over. But yeah, just he's making a bed. 1 second. Oh, you're right there, Chip. I got a lead from where I'm streaming. It's a messy bed. Oh, we're right there. Good night. Night, Chip. So hold on. I've got to get you adjusted again now. Oh, he loves this bed. He's got a new one coming. He's got. Oh, hold on. We've got to adjust again now. We had it all right. Bear with me, everyone. We had it all okay, and now I've like messed my own stream up. There we go. It's like I've just messed it all up. It's right. We're back. Well, it kind of knocks it about. I'll just leave him to it. Can you see all of that? The wax. Anyway, we'll turn it that way. The light's hitting it funny. He's a funny little boy. Bless him. Love him to bits, but he is. Okay, so we are on our French grey. I've got to turn you slightly to the side because I am at an angle here. And I'm going to just go with the whole thing now with the French grey. We're going to do all the last section in one kind of thing. I think we'll do all of the French grey, all of the sepia 10%, and sort of work our way up that way. Okay. You know what they're like, the dogs. Take care, Kimberly. Have a good day. Thank you for joining, as always. Okay. As I say, I just hope that they help someone, you know, even if you don't do them and you just want to watch them, or you're thinking, oh, no, you're doing it so different to what I do. As I say, this isn't a tutorial. This is how I colour things. So, you know, we've all got different styles, haven't we? So, yeah, there we go. We'll put our strands in. Bye, Shara. See you again, maybe. You might not be going. Oh, 1 minute, everyone. There we go. I have to move you. This is going to be a ride for a second, because where I move the camera, there we go. Where I move the camera, I was going to knock it, so I had to move it. I think that's better for me. When I adjust things, I had it all perfect, but Chip was just too cute not to share at that moment in time. Okay. So I'm bringing the French grey, taking out the grayscale, go in the direction of the hair, keep the direction of the hair that's provided. Don't sway from it. Yeah, I feel some certainly. I'll tell you which one out of the Luminance, which is very chalky, is the Castle Earth. And the French grey, what I'm using now, has got a chalky feel to it in comparison. But I do believe that although they're predominantly wax-based, they have got a slight oil. Am I right in saying that? They've got I'm sure that they've got a slight mix, although they are predominantly wax. Hey, Grace. Yeah, they're slightly different in colours, Connie. So the cool greys is more of a bluey tone. The warm greys has got more of a brown tone. The French greys have got more of a browny tone to them. I'm not sure. They're all slightly different. The other ones have got a beigey grey. It's a really good mixture of greys. They've all got a slight different tone to them. The cool greys are more cold, like blue, hints of blue in them. Like if you were to have something like steel, that's quite cold looking. Warm greys are definitely warmer, for sure. Okay, so we're building this up, and we're going to go with the strands that are there. Keep your pencil sharp. It's so important when you're doing strokes of hair. So as soon as it loses sharpness, you've got a problem. Okay. Oops, I just blew all my cards. Okay, let's bring this in. So I'm going to have to turn. So we're only just doing the first base and bringing in those strands. Yeah, Connie, it depends what type of colour you're going for. So swatching, you've got swatches. If you haven't got swatches, just swatch them on a bit of paper next to you and have a look at the tone you're looking for. So it all depends, Connie. So if you wanted something like, I think cool greys are a good starting point, because I think I use those most out of the greys. The French greys are nice in hair because they're warmer. Same as the warm greys, they're warmer. So they're nice to do when you're doing grey hair, like a dull grey. So they're much more duller and much more warming. So it all depends on your subject that you're colouring. You know, Connie, like statues and stuff, they're really nice with a mixture. Hey, Charlotte. Yeah, it is very hard, Grace. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. We can cover it all. As I said, you know, we're learning together as well. So up here, I'm just going to very loosely bring that up, and I'll have to meet it down. So be slow about this. Don't rush it, because your strands will go skew-if. And when I say skew-if, I mean topsy-turvy and all over the place, like a bit skewed. So just go slow and bring your strands down to the direction that the illustration, because you can lose it. It can go all funny. So take your time. There's no rush about this. It is a process if you want to do it. And bring those strands down, but do it slow. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. If this took you double the length of time, it doesn't matter. It's practice. And just keep with the strands and directions. Bye, Grace. Hi, Grace. Bye, Grace. That was a flying visit. Is it back to work? Okay, so there will be, I'll let you know now, a couple of bonus episodes. We're doing 10, but there'll be a couple of bonus ones with different mediums. So we'll do a couple more on the extension of this, because we're on number 4. Number 5 is next week, unicorn hair, and then we'll have 5 bonus episodes with other mediums, which will be fun. And they might entail some different colours, so that will be good. So I'm just allowing the pencil to do all the work. My hand is just following the direction that the illustrator has provided. And if you, as I say, when you take this up a notch and you do one without any aid or grayscale, or you know that the illustrator's left it all blank, you use your grace to grayscale it up yourself prior to adding your color. So grayscale it up, and then that does all this part for you. And then you put your color in. So you can use that same technique then of the strokes. So we're just going to build in. We're keeping with it. We're nearly working our way around. Yeah, there's quite dulled metals are good with the warm ones. Okay, and French. French greys are one of those that not many people use. It's probably my most like abandoned pencil, if I'm honest, is the French greys and warm greys. Very rare. My cool greys I use all the time, but I think that it's my most abandoned pencils in my sets. But I love grayscaling stuff, so maybe I need to be using them more. Right, this part here, what I'm moving on to, this is heavily grayscaled. So you're going to have a lot more black in this area than you would in these areas, say. This is going to have more of a highlight, and this part's going to have more of a dark black look. So you can be generous here on these heavily grayscaled areas with your French grey. So keep your strands, but here you might lose some anyway because it is heavily grayscaled. So allow your pencil to lay down heavier on this section, and don't be afraid to do it, because we've been going all light and pansy. Now we're going a little bit more heavy-handed. We've been like daisy hands all the way, and now we're going a little bit like going heavy metal here. And he's going to bark. That's Andrew. So allow your hand to do a little bit heavier. Sorry for barking, folks. Can you hear him? Can you hear all the noise? Listen for the noise. Who is it? Can you hear the crying? Can you hear that? Chip, it's just your dad. Go and see him. Hello.
Hello, Chip. Let's Chip.
Did you hear the noise?
Crying.
Crying, yeah, because you come in. Aww. They're saying hi, Andrew. He can't hear. 1 second, he's just popped it. As you do. First place you go. Wash your hands, Lou. 1 second. Cries his eyes out when he sees him. It's like so excited he can't control his emotion. So he starts all his crying like, oh no, you're home. I'm so excited. And now he'll just smother him in kisses when he comes and sits down. He's very cute, Chip. He loves him so much. Well, feelings mutual, those two. They've got a definite like love relationship. He gets more, Chip gets more attention than I do. You know that? Mind you, it's the other way around as well. Chip gets more attention than Andrew. Not intentionally. Okay, so we got that first lay down. I don't know, KP. It just always is. Always. It's like straight to the bathroom. Always. It's like, hi, off. See you later. And then he reappears. Oh, you're back now. You done what you need to do here. We're all the same, us humans. Yeah, I know. He's the same. Okay, so 902. Now I'm going to go more into these highlighted sections very, very, very lightly. Take out some of this white. We're nearly there. We're going to do this part and then we'll do the smaller sections with the blues and stuff and build our way up. So come in very lightly and take out the white, but keep it light-handed with your strokes. Don't go heavy-handed here. Now you've gone back to light, daisy hands. Light as a daisy. Feather hands, we should say, not daisy hands, though. I like daisy, though. I prefer daisy hands. We're going to call it daisy hands. So put that into the white areas. Let me do my pencil. Stop. See, that's what you get for like taking the mick out of me. You bump into the chair. He hates the sound of the sharpener. Okay, so just putting that into these light areas. And allow a very light coating into our highlights in our hair. We'll build our way up and we'll finish it all off, very shortly. We're near the end. We're getting there.
Can I have one of your yogurts?
You can have what you want. So everyone said hi earlier when you came in.
Oh, hello, everyone.
Yeah. Do you like my hair, Andrew? My black hair.
Ooh.
Do you like it?
Nice. Very nice.
Because usually you don't comment. You just come in and then off you go.
Yeah, I have to wash my hands. You know.
KP, I'll have to have a look. I can't remember which one. I'll look at the end. Okay. Hi, Christina. Aw, I'm glad that you came here then and you enjoy the channel. I love reading that. Thank you so much. I'm so, so happy to have you. Genuinely. I love all the subbies. Okay, we're going to go over to blue now. So this is our, I'm going to say blue. There is no way I'm saying that. Okay, so I'm going to go into highlighted areas. We'll do one section at a time, very, very slowly. Very lightly apply this in. Do not do this very heavy because the heaviness will just override everything else and it will take out your hard work of what you've been doing. So start to apply into the highlighted areas. And remember, lovelies, if you're newish here, and you're in live chat, just pop, if it's anything towards me or if you want me to see it or answer a question, then just pop it in capital letters like you're shouting so it catches my eye and I can see. I promise I won't be mad at you shouting. Okay, so now we're coming up here and we're planning where we want our highlight blue areas to go. Now up here is a little bit heavier on highlights because it's the light hitting it. So bring the strands of blue in. It will be a little bit more pronounced as we go on because you're adding stuff as you go along. This is not your final result, this is your planning. So I'm going to have to just quickly sharpen this. Okay, sorry about that heavy noise, that's the sharpener. Okay, so now I'm going into the highlights very lightly. And as you build it up, you're still continuing with your light pressure. Don't change the pressure of your pencil with blues. But when you're changing it up, go with the direction. So as you're going down, allow your hand to like go round like a curve. Oh, yeah, May, I'm not sure yet. I have to look at the order. I'll let you know at the end of the video. I'll tell you what's after unicorn. I'll tell you what's next. I'll tell you the order of it because I've got them planned out. I've got a folder. I have to look in the folder. So I shall let you know. Not quite sure yet. Because we've got strawberry blonde hair like ginger hair. We've got grey hair. We've got ombre caramel hair. We've got unicorn hair. We've got Daenerys hair. So we've got a few to go yet. And then we've got 5 bonus ones with different mediums coming as well. So there might be, hint, hint, some Copics. There might be some Spectrum Noir markers. And there may be a watercolour base. So keep peeled. So we've got those coming up and I'll release those at the end. Okay. So kind of got more into the highlights there. Don't worry about it looking messy for now. This is not your final result. I'm going to bring some down into these a minute because we're going to change those up. So now I'm going to bring, we're on the home stretch. Now we're going to bring in our Prussian. Okay, Prussian Blue 159, and now I'm varying the pressure a little bit heavier. I'm bringing up some of the strands so that we pronounce this out a bit more. This part's heavily grayscale, so we're going to bring quite a fair amount there of black. So you can be a bit heavier handed with your blue here on this part because you saw from the original image. Let me just show you as this one. This part here, as you can see, is very heavy. This part. This was just my tester page, my planning page. So this is what we're doing now. We needed to make these a little bit more pronounced. So with the fine, while you've got a really fine edge, come round like you've got your strands here, and it's out a little bit more, isn't it? So just bring those down. What's the time? Oh, that's okay. Not late. I thought it was a lot later than that. Okay. Feels like I've been here forever. That's why. Feels like I've been here for like 4 hours, but I haven't. How long have I been on? No. Oh, that's Mum's. No, it is. Mum.
Yeah, sure.
It's not mine, it's Mum's. He thinks every Amazon package that comes through the door is mine, but my mum gets her Amazon deliveries through my account, so it comes to me, and he thinks like suspiciously that it's me all the time. No, I have Mum's stuff come here all the time because she lives in flats, whereas we don't. We've got our own property, and you know, things can go missing in flats very easily because it's a communal shared postage thing. So I just get them sent to me, and then when I go down to see her, or she comes here like tomorrow, she can pick them up. So she doesn't get any lost deliveries that way. Okay, so got quite a heavy blue content so far, which is what I'm looking for, because you're going to add in other stuff anyway, so you're going to build it up. Yeah, I got a budgie. That's who you can hear, Cassie. It's okay. She's quiet at this minute in time, but every now and then you'll get a little tweak, and she'll be like, yep, yep. Yeah, a few people have moaned about her recently, but I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it. She's in my home. It's her home. Okay, so very heavy blue content here. So it's just a base. Now I'm going to start bringing in black. And then we're going to start building up now. I want this out of the way, actually. Hold on. I need to snip some off of that. There we go. Because otherwise it will be there. It will be in the way. So we're going to bring in some Luminance Black. Okay, now I'm going to go by this section first. I'm going to have to turn you as long as you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to start to add and plan. Oh, crap. Where I want my black to go. I just always do that. So again, I'm just going to put that in and build my pressure up. So you can start to see that we're planning it out. So I'm going to bring round so that we've got a starting point there where we can go and stem from. These little sections are a little bit of a nightmare for me. I hate the little ones because you haven't got much room for movement and they can become quite heavy, but that's okay. So this will have a lot more of a black feel with less blue because it's where you've got a mix. Now I'm just going to bring my white. I'm not going to change that for a second. So I just want to add in where I'm going to have a section that changes, okay? So I just added white in there so I know where I'm sort of heading with it. So add that in. And then the same with this part. I'm just going to bring my black round. That's Chip's noises, by the way. He's got a reverse cough. It's like a reverse sneeze when he gets excited. He's always had it. I wondered what it was. We thought it was kennel cough, but it's not. Small dogs get it. All right, so you can see. Now, before I start, I'm going to do these two sections and then that whole section, okay? So I'm going to do like one bit at a time. So again, I'm going to bring my black in. I want to take out some of that. You want to go round there, so you want it to be a separate thing to this lot here. So have a reference. This is where your white comes in handy. Your white can be your reference. Just add it in for now. And that just allows you to have a separation so it doesn't all get clogged up together and it doesn't muddy out the other ones so that you can see the separation. So I'm going to bring in that black and allow that to come down and meet. So we're starting to build it up. Oh, really, KP? A lot of them get it when they come from the kennels. That's why it was called kennel cough. You know, when they first come from kennels to your homes. Yeah, kennel cough's that. So they can catch it from other dogs. And we thought it was that, but it wasn't. He gets a reverse sneeze. And it's a horrible noise, that hacking piglet. That hacking pig. If a pig was to hack, it sounds like that. But little dogs get it a lot when they get excited because they've got little snouts. I suppose like a piggy snout. That's, you know, it's funny. It's a funny noise. Okay. So again, I'm just going to use my white as a reference a minute. And it can just help with that separation because you can see there's a separation between them. Yeah, it can. It can. Yeah, it's an old man hack. It's like, he sounds more like a piggy hacking, like a, and it's a really strong noise. And at first I'm scared. I was so scared of it. I was thinking, what is happening? What is wrong with him? Well, it's not uncommon in small dogs. It's like a reversed sneeze thing. And it's when they get particularly excited about something. And it is a very awful sound. Hi, Sam Brown. Yeah. Hi, Julie's Art. So we're still in this section here. I'm still working. I'm going to have to turn it slightly. So we're going to bring back to our Faber Blue 162. And I'm going to put that and reintroduce it into, especially into the highlighted areas. Very lightly on my pressure. Remember, the blues are never heavy. They're only your highlight. You don't want them to act as anything other than a highlight. They're not the hair. The hair is predominantly black. They are most definitely your highlight. And then here, I'm going to add some in as well. So we're going to, as I said, at the end, we're going to have a little go around to make sure that we've got everything right. So there's no, you know, worrying about it at the moment. Oh. Okay. Then I'm going to go to my Prussian Blue. I'm just making sure that's nice and placed in the corner. Okay. Can you all see okay on your screens? So Prussian Blue, and I'm just going to go a little bit heavier, especially on this part here. Yeah, a lot of people, especially got Chihuahuas, you'll notice that they do that noise, and it's nothing to worry about, especially if you're a new like puppy mum. It's a common thing. Okay. Then we're going to go back and get some grey. Take care, Jane. Enjoy dinner. Thanks for joining this whole time. Bless your hearts. Okay, so we're putting in French grey 808. And yeah, I do I do thank you all because I know these are quite long, but they're very, very, very detailed, especially with this one in particular. Some of them are a lot quicker because I've done them a lot more. Some of them are a little bit longer because I have to tweak them. Some of them it's the layering process and the colours, so it all takes time. So we're going to do these little bits in black in a minute. Okay. Then we're going to grab our Polychromo Black, which is, remember, our thin detailed black. Now this one is amazing for details because you can always do a little strand coming off if you want to, of course. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. But I usually add just a couple. So I'm just bringing that black in to pronounce some of these strands. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was. Hi, Faye. Welcome back. Okay, so I'm just adding in here as well. And the same with this section. So I'm doing it sharp. These are sharp strands here to pronounce it. And the same with here. I'm gonna, can you see the directional change okay? So if I turn it, you can kind of see it. There you go. We just got the strands going. Hold on. As long as it's looking natural, that's all I care about. Okay, so we're moving up to this section again. So we've done these parts for now. No, we haven't. We'll just add a few more there. So I'm just, you can see my hand's loose, but I'm pressing it fairly firm. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now we're on this last part up here. So it goes from here and we go all the way around to the top. Thank you, Charlotte. Grayson, how many years have you been with Andrew, if I could ask? Of course you can ask. 14 years on the 17th of December is our 14th year anniversary. We got together when I was 17. I'm now 31. A long time, isn't it, Andrew?
Yeah.
And I still hasn't put a ring on it. Yes, and I will always get that in. You can roll your eyes at me. Okay, so now we're on this section here. So I think I'm going to come over to some black, but it will be my Luminance Black. Ah, thank you. They know they're chipping now. They need to redoing because look, KP, bendy nails again. KP keeps telling me about the stuff that strengthens them, but they just tend to break. All you can see how bendy my nails are. It's ridiculous. Okay, just gonna shot. As I said, this particular picture will eat your pencils. Okay. This section here, I'm going to turn, I'm going to turn, I'm going to turn. Here we go. Pencil snap. Not much. It was slow. It's still very sharp. Oh, they see it sharp. It's just a very, very point on the end. Okay, now I'm going to start to build up my black. And you will find that this part will have a lot of highlight. So take this part slowly. So we're going to do this part section by section, and we will build up slowly with layers. So I'm going lightly with my pressure here, and don't forget black is your ultimate color here. So just take your time. What has May been eating? Sugar? Oh dear, what did you eat, May? Sugar trip. Okay, so we're just going to add that in. And I'm coming around these parts as well. So you see it's starting to build up. Okay, so again, I'm going to roll this upwards. So you're rolling your hand. So do this in little parts. Don't rush with this part. So again, I am just allowing the direction of the hair to take me. And there might be a slight overlap here. So I'm going to bring down the strands at the top. And there is a bit of a highlight there, so you might want to keep that for now. And the same with this part. Again, it's sort of turning it to the direction so you can get it. It's good for you because you're back to normal on the screen. So This part here has got a bit of a highlight, so I'm going to leave that for now. This is just your first lay down anyway. And we're going to just bring it round as we go. I'm just not in chat for a second, just so I concentrate on this section. So very, very lightly I'm going. Remember, this part down here is your point. So go from your point and fan up. Go round to each part. Whatever part your hair's taking you, go with it. So this is taking me round. This is taking me up, so carry that up. Then that part's taking me this way. And then it continues up to there. So you just really are following that round. I'm just going to have a mouthful of drink. I'm drinking these as well. Lou told me about the ones in Asda as well. Mango and passion fruit flavoured water. It's no added sugar, but they're really yummy. So you can keep turning your pencil and meet it down. And you can see where because your blue, your light blue areas is where your highlights are. So you're going by that guide that you've already put yourself down. So keep with that. Don't change that. And keep rolling up your pencil. This part's heavily grayscale. Do you know what, guys? I'm just going to put this one here just for a minute because this is very fine. And I need a very fine black, especially on these strandy bits here. So I'm just going to bring my Polychromo Black rather than the Lumi, because the luminance is a bit thicker and it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the variation. And this is a good point about using a couple of blacks, is the Polychromo is a lot thinner and it will get a lot more finer detail, especially on these little parts here. And that's very good for thin strands. So get all your thin strands done with your poly. And this part, as I said, is quite heavily grayscaled here. So roll with that. Go with the, don't change it, go with it. So you don't want to have this all white. Bring your black in. And hopefully on the next hair episode, I'll release the colours earlier. I'm sorry I didn't get them out because I was tweaking it up till half an hour before the string. So I didn't get them out the day before. However, next time I will get it done earlier. So we are bringing up this is the Polychromo, and we'll meet some of those strands here. Go with the direction. Okay, and then keep with it. Ah, thanks, Graceman. Okay, so I'm just going to allow some of those thin strands to come up and meet it. As I said, you're just planning out at the minute. And just that's the thing, you kind of got to go with the plan of the illustration so that you can follow the pattern. So I'm just, and then bring some of those round. Chip, why are you getting so excited? He's happy you're home.
Right.
Can you hear him? This is the noise where he gets so excited he can't contain it and he sounds like a pig. There you go. That's Chip. In his full glory, bless him. Thank you, Kenny. We're getting there. It's getting there. If I zoom out a minute, you can see it on a bit like a grander scale type thing. So you can see a little bit more. And I hope you can see the directional changes and we've not lost them. It takes time. He needs to go out. What's the time? Yeah. Okay, we'll continue. We're nearly there. We're just on, as I say, we're on this last section. And I'm pressing medium pressure. I'm not pressing hard. I'm not pressing light. I'd say I'm more towards medium to heavy because they're very thin strands. And with the polychroma, you can get right on in there. Polys are actually a lot easier. No. Yeah, I suppose I'll keep them around Gracelyn. Okay. I suppose. No, he is. He makes a good cuppa. So he's a keeper that way. Okay, so there I've got, for now, before I add more black. No, I'm not quite done yet. And now Tilly's starting into the mix. We've got a remix going on. Chip and Tilly. Buzz is in the other room because we've got a Christmas tree. Till. Yeah, I've not forgotten you. Okay. Yeah. Now we're going to bring in a little bit more of the French grey. I'm not going to go to the blue yet. I'm going to go over to this one first. Oh, and the reason I'm going to do that is I want to take out this part of white. So I'm going here with the, before I add any more blues, I'm going with the direction of the hair. So let's just keep with it, go with it. I wonder if my mum's still here. She disappeared. She doesn't say bye. Mum, if you're not here. Okay. So our last section, guys, we're going to now get the 162. Right, sorry for a second about the noise. Now we're going to put some more of that blue highlight in very lightly, just very, very lightly. Don't be heavy-handed. And the only way I can like sort of show you the pressure is if I grab this. And if I'm going like this with you and against heavy, like if I'm going heavy, that would be the build-up, way too dark. So you kind of just going very, very, very lightly on the pressure. Oh my God, the sound effects. Sound effects from the pets, my lord. He got so excited he doesn't know how. And now Tilly's starting. Right, do you want a remix of the pet? You're getting it. Okay, so I'm just putting those into the highlighted areas. Tilly, yeah, not noisy. Tilly. There's nice sounds, and then there's the sounds where you sound like you're having a go. Like that. Hold on, guys. Bear with me a second. 2 seconds. I'm gonna put her on there so she doesn't move. Chip! Chill out! Chill out! And you, madam, come on. You don't need added sound effects either. Chip, chill. Yes, okay. All right, I don't need that. No. Okay, right, I'm back. Sorry, I'm just putting Tilly on her gym so she stops shouting. Right, you're still with me. Just making sure because we're nearly done. Oh, there we go. So we're putting very light application down of the Faber Blue 162. And that is going very lightly into it. Woohoo! Enjoy, Kathy. And again, I'm not going heavily into these areas. So especially on this top half, you want it to be a little bit more pronounced. Oh, Mum, just disappear on me for a bit. And I'm going, is Mum here? What did you have for dinner, Mum? Andrew's got burger. I don't know what I've got. I've got nothing at the moment. Okay, so again, we're going to bring in the darker blue. And I'm going to press firm to bring that in. We're nearly done, guys. We're nearly done. So if you are following this back, for those watching this back as well, then kudos to you because it's been a long one and you've done well. So stick it out with me. But black hair is difficult, so you can do this in stages anyway. You don't have to do the whole thing in one go. You can do it in stages. Okay, so add that in, allow your hand to go with it. Thank you. Thanks you. Thank you. Oh, the bottom name. Are you okay, Tanya? Did I miss something? Let me know. No, we're in English stream, Darius. Unless you've wandered in by accident. Might have got lost on your way somewhere. Yeah, I haven't had a spag bar in a long time. She is Polish. Yeah, she is Polish. You are spot on. Mariola Budek is the artist. Okay, so I am pressing down quite firmly on this one and bringing it all together now because we're nearly done. Thank you, Dar. Welcome back, Dash. We're nearly done. Shows you how long I've been on. Everyone's been and gone and come back. Okay, so I'm going to bring that down. Oh, my mum's made me fancy that now. Sammy, I have a question. If you have black hair and if the person was more mature, would you use grey or white on the darker colours, or do they all? So if this was an older person, I'd still use the blue. But the grey and the white, it will still counteract. You probably have a little bit more grey peeping through. So, you know, like the roots, I would do them a little bit more grey if it was me. I know I've been on 3 hours. Another exact colour. Can anyone recommend some markers for a first timer? Touch 5s. They're brilliant, but they don't blend. They're more for bases and stuff. Take care, Janet. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so Tanya, I would probably do a little bit more grey in it to look. So if you've done this as your final sort of things, I would go then back in with grey and muddy it up a bit with some greys. You can always add, but you can always make it a little bit darker. So I've not finished yet. I'm nearly done. So you can come in with greys, for instance, especially at the roots. You can bring greys in. And you would go through, you know, with greys and make it a little bit more pronounced. You can also add a little bit more grey towards the tips. Instead of all that blue, you can make it a bit more grey. So you can just keep layering up, and it does work. It does work. So, yeah. Next week, we're doing Christmas. So this one, I'm still on Prussian. Yeah, just layer in a few more greys and less heavy-handed on the black, I'd say. If they're black bordering on a grey, you could do more grey in it, less black. On Cozy Colouring Night, I'll give you all a choice of 2 pictures that I've chose out. But one of them is out of Forest Girls too, for those that don't have it. The Christmas tree one towards the back. That was going to be my one. I really fancied doing. So yeah, I'm feeling that greatly. So I might start with that. There might be 2 Christmas pictures. Okay, back to black. Now I'm going to add and layer in my Polychromo because it's thin. And now we can start putting all the finishing sort of touches and layers and adding it all up together so that we've got the final result. So we're almost there. And as I said, if you're doing this with me and you stuck it out for the whole time, then thank you. And show me your results. I love to see it in the groups. I'm mostly over with either the colouring community, I'm over on there, or my main group, which is like home, is Reading with Pugs. And I love to see, I'm mostly active there. I'm a moderator for Jen. So I haven't got my own group and I don't feel like doing my own group. We've got this and we've got a Facebook page and an Instagram that keeps me busy. I think a group would just be too much. So I'm happy in Reading with Pugs. I'm good over there. I'm good. I'm good staying. Okay. So maybe one day, I was thinking, but not, definitely not now. Thanks, Mum. Oh, I did it. What in what you? Thank you, Bridget. I don't believe. Did I see that? Is it the one that you had to vote A or B? Am I thinking along the right lines there, Dash? Okay, nearly done, guys. Nearly done. So I'm going to just add some white. I'll just put that on top for a minute. We're going to finish up touches now. I'm going to add in a few highlights here, just around, you know, where you've got the highlighted areas, because we can always layer on top with a bit of grey. So just bear with me. I'm not in chat for a second. So I'm just putting in those highlights. Thank you, Leonie. Yeah, I picked B. Oh, thank you. That's there for everyone to see then. She just put the blog, but I know she puts 3 images on it. Okay, I'll have a look. Thank you. I'll go back on the chat when it renders. And don't forget, if you do watch this back because you've missed something, the live chat won't be there for like 4 hours, but it eventually loads. And my stream will start like 2 hours in. So, you know, it takes a while. Okay, so just going to come back to my Polychromo again and just make sure I've got my strands right. Again, it's got to be a super sharp pencil. Yeah, you can share links, guys, obviously links for the appropriate stuff, but it just will come up as needs approval. So the moderators, the ones with the spanners that chuck all the bad people out, they can accept it, and they'll just press show. So you are open to, I've not clicked that setting off. You can share links if they're appropriate, and then the moderators will either allow or deny them, or myself, if I look up in time. Oh, thanks, Mona. Yeah, we're nearly done. We've been here 3 hours, but we'll say 1 hour, but we've been here 3 hours. So we're just doing the finishing touches and making sure that it's all, you know, how I have it in my head kind of thing. So you're building on the black and you're kind of just making that final look of black hair. So the black polychroma would be my choice of black to do all your detail. And then we are almost done. So I would say come down to these sort of sections. Oh, okay, thanks, Dash. I'll have a look after. No, this is not my art, Aya. This is someone else's art. I just colour. So no, I don't. It wouldn't be legal. Okay. Yep. Coming back to Prussian. And make sure your highlights are very pronounced, because I'm just going to tidy up what's here now. Just want to see something, everyone, in a minute. Just bear with me, because I want to just see if a colour will go in here. So I'm just going very, 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 very lightly and adding the highlights in with the Prussian Blue. Thank you, Grace Lynn. I'm just going to zoom you out a tad. There we go. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to do our final tiny touches. I'm going to come in with 2 colours. I just want to try something, everyone. Now, don't follow me yet on that colour. I just want to see something before I zoom you in, if it would go. Yeah, it will. Okay, I'm going to put a tad of this in then. Okay, so just for a touch in small highlighted areas. I'm not adding much, just, I mean, a touch of it. And it's just in those very pale areas that we've got. And I am very, 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 very lightly doing it. Just adds a bit of a different dimension. Not much. It is just very, very light. Kind of just like you've got a slight bluey brown tinge in your hair. Quite nice. Do you think the same process will work with pastel pencils? Oh, I don't know. I don't think so, because they're a bit chalky and you need sharp pencils. You could try it. Cool. Look, it would work. It's just that it would take a different kind of approach, because it's a lot thicker, isn't it? But yeah, cool. It would work. Anything like that would work. It just would take a little bit of a different approach. You'd have to have super, super sharp pastel pencils. Just getting my Lumi White a minute, just adding the last of the highlights. This is all my finishing touches type thing. Just make sure that everything is sort of all wrapped up. Just add a little bit in there. Because you're going to come up one last time with your black, make sure your detail's there. And then we're done. Thank you. Nearly done. Last one, last one, last one. Very nice, back to black. Make sure you've got all of your strands done. So make sure you're super sharp now, everyone. Right, super sharp. Super duper sharp. Don't press hard. And then I'm just going to bring some around here. And then again, I'm going to bring some down into these sections. And it is just finishing touches, guys. Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing, isn't it? It's pastel pencils are a different breed. They really are. They are a lot more chalky. They're a lot more, they're good as bases. They're just not my tool of choice personally. I can't do hair with them. I could do a base with them and I can add some detail in them, but not the very fine strokes. Not so much. One second. That's it. I can't recommend that. This is just amazing. You remember when I did the stream and I showed you this Tihu eraser, and it's got the very fine, thin eraser things. They're great. They're amazing. Welcome back, Becca, and hi, Catherine. Yeah, they're amazing. So I highly recommend, especially if you need to get into tiny detail, get one of those. They are incredible. Battery Tihu eraser. This is. It's on Amazon, but you can get them in different brands. But these are incredible. So if you haven't got one, I highly recommend that you put one in your collection. It's a different size to the Derwent, although you get both sizes available on that. Okay, so this is just now wrapping it up. So you are adding the very finishing strands, your fine, thin, can you see how sharp that is? Your fine vampire stake pencil to get all your finishing touches in, and it just makes sure that you get all your details. It's just detailing now. So the detail is just the final part. So anything that you may have missed, anything that you might want to touch up, this is your time to do it. So it's just a case of adding and selecting what you'd like to do. If you want to add any more highlights, that now's your time. You know, this is your moment of tidy up, get it to how you're happy with it. And again, this isn't a tutorial. This is just showing you how I color things in the hair series, or how I might approach something, and I'm showing you what I'm doing. And I take you step by step through every little section. I do plan these prior. So a lot of work goes into these because I want them to be good for you all. Hi, Roxy. So, you know, it's not a case of just come on and stream. I do sit like this when I've sat and planned it. You know, it is a case of plan, right, try, test before I come on and show you all. So hopefully this comes out fine. So it would be really, really nice to just add what I'm happy with now, and then we're done. So this is just my Poly Black, and we are just building up to what we want it to, and I think I am pretty happy. Ah. Oh, well, thank you for being my 543rd subscriber. Yeah, I enjoy it though. It's nice to be able to come on and do it and know where I'm heading. Otherwise, I would, yeah, it gives me a sense of relief as well. Okay, so it is literally finishing touches, guys. I think I'm quite happy with that now. I think I do not want to add anything else, or if I do, you can always, as I say to you, you can add a few other strands coming in until you're happy with it, but that is totally optional. So if you wanted to, you can add like these tiny sort of ones coming off. Optional to you. Oh, thank you. No, I honestly, I'm not, you know, I get surprised and I get gifted. As you know, I show you everything. But I don't ever sit there and say, oh, no, I need this or I want this or something, you know. Oh, Dash. I do have a wish list, but I never say about it. But there is one there. But thank you so much for thinking of me. It's not something I do get gifted, you know, by people, and it just every time I'm so thankful. But thank you so much. So I think, lovelies, we're going to call this lady done. So we have wrapped up black hair, and I'll recap what we used. So I'll push this to the side. Push this aside. Okay, so we have used. We had Polychromo Black for very fine detailed black. We had Prussian Blue. Can you see this? Yeah. We have the Lumi in Sepia 10%. I'm going to include that there, but this is right optional. We had Lumi Black. We had French Grey 808. We had Lumi 162. And we had white. Now, this I'm going to put aside as an optional thing because you might not. Oh, no, you're welcome. Thank you for, like, modding and being, you know, your usual. All of you. I love my mods so much. Usual amazing, entertaining selves, everyone. Okay, so we got Polychromo is your fine detail. Your two blues that, well, the two blues that I have used is some Prussian Blue, and I'm going to call it Faber Blue. There is no way I'm pronouncing that. Then, so that's 162, 159, 902, 009, 001, 808, and 590 in the Luminance. And then you have one Polychromo Black, which is 199. Ah, thank you. You're welcome. So let me quickly tell you before I leave what's next, or what's going to be happening in the series. Bear with me. Bear with me and I'll tell you it's unicorn hair next, I think. So let me have a look. 1 second, everyone, and then I'll sign off. Okay. So I'll tell you the order. Andrew, I dropped the candelabra down the stairs. Can you go and pick it up, please? I just dropped the candelabra. Did you hear that? That went flying down the stairs. Oh, well. Oh, well. Can you go and pick it up for me in case? I hope it's not broken. That's the heavy glass one that we've had since we moved in. Oh, no. Okay. His chip's gone down. Right, let me tell you. Right, so this was, hold on everyone. See, I'm planning everything. Okay, so next is unicorn hair. I'm going to try it on this one, I don't know if you can see. Then it's strawberry blonde ginger, which I've already got a combination for. Then it's brown hazelnut, so like a really nice auburn hazelnutty brown. Then episode 8 is white ash blonde on this one. Did you hear that, Lou? This is so pretty. And then it's grey, dark root grey going into light grey. And then it will be brown caramel ombre hair. So it goes from dark brown into light brown into caramel. So we've got them all planned out. So the next one is Pastels Unicorn. Take care. Thanks, everyone that came. Then it's Strawberry Blonde Ginger. So I'm planning them already. Then we've got Brown Hazelnut Hair. Then we've got White Ash Blonde. Then we've got Grey to Dark Grey. And then we've got Brown Caramel Ombre. Does that sound good? This is one that I'm going to try and Copic as well shortly. but I'm just getting to grips with them. So that is where we are heading. And as I said, I do try to plan stuff out. For those that were asking about the work in progress sheets from Lady V Designs, this is what they look like. They come in like a 2. So, did I break it? Is it smashed?
I'm afraid I've got bad news.
No, did it break?
Yeah.
What, did it smash?
Not smashed, but it's broken.
Let me see. Oh no, we had them from when we moved in. It's because they're behind me. Let me see. I can fix that. No, I love this thing. It has smashed. Where's the other bit? Go and check because Chip will pick that up. Oh no, guys. No, I can't. No, it's smashed. It's a heavy, heavy, heavy candelabra pillar. Oh, it's one of my favourites ever. Oh well, more shopping, an excuse to go shopping. Andrew.
Well, at least I didn't break it.
No, you
I'd
can
never
take
hear
me.
the end of it.
But you take me shopping. You can take me house shopping. That would be good. We can go house shopping. You can get your credit card.
Credit card? I just lift up the mattress for my money.
No. No, seriously, has he picked anything up?
Sorry, please.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go and see what disasters I've done downstairs and what I've knocked over and what I'm going to do. But never mind. Thank you so much. What I'm going to be doing a Hannah Lynn Christmas on Saturday. I need to bubble wrap everything in the house, Morticia. My clumsiness is becoming ridiculous. But yeah, I will be back on Saturday, cozy colouring night. Me and Jen. Don't forget, after me is Jen. It will be our Happy Holidays one. So it will be a Hannah Lynn. I'm going to do a marker base and Prismacolors. Thank you so much for joining and sticking this out for 3.5 hours. We have done black hair. Hopefully you're happy with that and the final result. Take care until Saturday. I'll see you then. Thank you. Bye.